Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are in a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett, First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Fresno, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro, New World Order, and The Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette, Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Conrad, I send you peace and love.
Well,
what, did that stun you that I would send you peace and love?
I did. I didn't know. I don't know what to say to that. I'm so used to you some bitching me and motherfuckering me.
Well, you know, I only some bitch and motherfucker you when you earned it, which is most of the time, because you can be very, very mean to me on this broadcast. Wait a minute, there's Kevin Sullivan barking. Okay.
Fired up.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody say something about fired up.
So only when you're mean to me, which is like 95% of the time. But I thought I'd start out with peace and love today, that hopefully you wouldn't be a mean motherfucker. Well, never mind.
Hey, let's talk about this past weekend. Cause I mean, all your hopes and dreams come true back to back.
Okay. And they are.
Sunday morning, we had Francine live on Zoom, talking, interacting, fellowshipping
on ad-free shows, right?
Adfreeshows.com. And then that evening we had Medusa on Zoom with a cocktail in hand, fellowshipping, interacting, engaging. And, a wise man once said, it took Linda Carter and Bo Derek back to back to even make him flinch. And I need to know, after you got to go doubleheader Jones with Francine and Medusa, did you get your money's worth over at adfreeshows.com?
Well, I'm sure all our subscribers did. And I really think it's important. And I really appreciate that. But I have to be honest with you. I didn't join them.
What?
No. And let me tell you why I didn't, because I want it to be their moment. I want it to be Medusa's moment. I want it to be Francine's moment. And I don't want to be on there, just slobbering and everything. Say, oh, Francine, I love you. Medusa, I love you. I didn't think that would be right to do. So I want to give them their moment. I'm sure we may do it again in the future. Maybe I'll join at that time, but I thought it would be best for me to step out.
Okay.
Now you sound pissed.
Not pissed at all.
Now I know you when you're pissed.
No, I mean, listen, it's whatever.
Whatever. Okay.
Well,
Anyway,
I was just pretty excited that, you've told me forever how much you love and cherish these two women.
I do.
I pay them. I find them. I reach out to them. I coordinate them. I make all of your hopes and dreams come true the very same day.
No.
You're on your birthday week, you son bitch.
No.
And then you don't even unwrap them.
No. You, last year, my birthday, Medusa came to my party.
Yeah.
And there he was. And man, I thought by that time, early that day, I'm thinking, man alive, it's my birthday. I'm going to get a little present from Medusa, which I did.
Woohoo.
A card.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden Lois shows up and there that goes. So
wait. You just told us last week you got some stank on your hang low off Lois last week.
Last year during my birthday.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So anyway, anyway, I think it's great. I think it's great you're bringing some of these wonderful ladies who have forged their way into wrestling, and we're going to look at one today and bring them in to be with us. I just think it's great, and I just thought I'd let them have their moment.
Let's go ahead and give everybody their moment right now to fire up the WWE Network for November to Remember 2000. It went down November 5th, 2000. So as we're talking today here at Tony Tone Tone, tomorrow is the 20-year anniversary of the show.
How about that? 20 years for the show. And you know what I like about the term fire up?
What's that?
It's a real redneck term.
Well, it is a term for the grill usually, or a Tommy
car.
Rich match.
Yeah. Or, get in the car and fire up. I'll be out there in just a minute. Or get in the truck and fire up. We got somewhere we got to go.
Well, that's also talking about, smoking, right?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and fire up the WWE Network. November 5th, 2000. Tony here on the show. We don't do it alone. We do it with a little help from our friends, and I'm ready to do it when you say that they're ready.
They are ready. And here we go.
Hey, this is Carl Mandick in Scottsdale, Arizona by way of Chicago IL, a loyal, devoted supporter of What Happened When. For the countdown, I'm going to deliver a limerick, one that I've never shared, from a Lanny P. Oh, gosh, that is vague. You can call him El Pafo. Yeah, seriously, this guy is a genius. One man enjoys meat from a can. Pop dines on hummus because he's the man. Noah toyed with Johnny B. Bad's Master Blaster. He also left Lois's arm in a cast made of plaster. Yes, I can fold myself in two, yet I leave my grapefruits oh so blue. He screams each night, "That's right, that's Whitney right," from his Batcave fort. Nevertheless, Tony, you are the voice of our great sport. 3, 2, 1, play.
Track it.
When I won this belt at Anarchy Rules, I made a promise to be a fighting champion. And god damn it, that's what I've done. And tonight, this belt's not just in jeopardy, it's in double jeopardy. And just incredible, if I have to walk through you, that's just fine. Because I did it at Anarchy Rules, and I'll do it again. Steve Corino, Sandman, if I have to walk through you two, that's just fine. Because if I have to, I'll walk through every single person in this locker room tonight, in one night, all at the same time, whatever it takes, because I am the ECW Heavyweight Champion of the World.
publicity, the legacy of the November to Remember. First time ever, double Jeopardy match. And the ECW World Heavyweight title is coming home to me!
ECW Heavyweight title is coming home to just incredible because he has the greatest motivation. This is his motivation. And he doesn't get this until he gets that belt back around his waist. And when he gets that belt back around his waist, he's gonna have a whole new meaning to home, sweet home.
Fuck you, Tony.
Time ECW World Heavyweight Champion. I am the Sandman, the King of Extreme, the hardcore icon. And tonight, I make it the fourth, because I'm politically incorrect. I'm damn proud of it.
Slay again.
Steve, let's just do the promo.
Jack, I hate women.
Steve, stay focused. Let's just do the promo.
All right, you know your part?
My part?
Yeah.
My part's this.
High spot.
That's my part.
And you do it so well. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Tonight, Steve Corino's gonna be the ECW.
I'm sorry. Look what I wore. It took me a little longer than usual, but I'm sorry. It was so pretty, don't I? It's just for you. It's going to be really special tonight when you win the belt. So I look pretty in the pictures.
Remember that, Dawn. It's when I win the belt.
Yeah.
Because Sandman, I'm gonna go through you, and the winner of Justin versus Jerry better be ready, because I'm determined to become the ECW World Heavyweight Champion and put my name in the history books of all the great champions that there's ever been. Tonight, I will not only be the king of old school, I will be the king of the new era, and I'm gonna be the leader of the extreme. Tonight is Steve Corino's night to become the ECW World Heavyweight Champion!
That was perfect. Thank you, Steve.
Is that all right with you, Dawn?
It was perfect. It was very, very good. And you know what? Tonight, after you win everything, it's going to be wonderful. What the fuck?
Don't worry about him. What about me and you hooking up?
Yeah, right.
High spot. High spot.
Not the best open for a pay-per-view we ever saw.
No. 4 of those back to back didn't really do anything for me. And I think we did. Did you do enough build up as to what we were watching before we did the countdown?
Said November to Remember a few times.
You did?
Said the date.
You did?
Yeah, I said that tomorrow was the 20-year anniversary.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. So it must be a November to forget for me, because I forgot what you had just talked about. You think it's my age?
Meltzer would write, in its first pay-per-view outing since losing national television, ECW, with toning down of the WWF, went as far as possible to reestablish the niche it once had in wrestling with November to Remember, which could have appropriately been subtitled Night of the Blade. November 5th show from the Odeum Theater in Chicago before 4,600 fans, which was 2,600 paying $122,000. Almost seemed to be a show booked on the fly, left little in the way of structure, and ended with a new ECW champion crowned for the second straight pay-per-view in Steve Corino. With WCW running the same market the next day, the crowd, if people were looking for a comparison, had to be a disappointment, since WCW not only outdrew ECW, but drew substantially more money with lower ticket prices. Herein lies the dichotomy of the title. Rob Van Dam, the group's biggest star, has been kept from the title because, from an old championship perspective, the title is the holy grail and the fun is the chase. There have always been reasons, and logical ones at that, why the time hasn't been right. There's no point in doing it before national TV, and there's no point in wasting it now since there isn't national TV. However, that old school chase is only effective when the title is the cornerstone of the company and it's something that anyone can have. The classic chases that worked at the box office were those of a title that rarely changed hands. They wouldn't work to the other extreme at WCW, where the title has been devalued to where holding it isn't any big deal. Seeing it change isn't any big deal, and thus winning it means nothing either. In the WWF the last month, even though the belt changes hands frequently, the only people who have held it in the past year have been top guys and acknowledged superstars. While Kurt Angle's booking since winning it may have been questioned, the fact is it was positioned and protected enough that his winning it elevated him. It didn't hurt the title, putting him in an elite company. Waiting for Van Dam to be put in the elite company for a title belt whose main lure as pushed on TV was not that it signifies anything other than in storyline with the right to sleep with Francine, a belt that the holder isn't even the main event of on the house shows, and that watching three leading contenders beat each other bloody is less important to the audience than seeing a fourth guy going for the title. Show up several minutes late to the match, take several more minutes for his ring entrance, while expectedly the ring entrance was a bigger deal than the guys ripping and clawing for the title. Like Goldberg's quest in WCW, Van Dam's quest for something no longer that is important in the fans' eyes. So yeah, that's really the story here. We're off TV. We're trying to be a little more hardcore now. The fans have felt for a long time that Van Dam was the top guy, the uncrowned champion, but did they wait too long? And, can you make a comparison like that in WCW? You know, I know a lot of, Canadian marks are going to say, oh, it should have been Bret Hart, but he won the world title in WCW. But do you think they waited too long with anybody else? Some people would say perhaps Lex Luger, if you go back to the end of Crockett, very early WCW. But it's hard for me to really come up with any instance like this where they waited too long in WCW, much like they did with Rob Van Dam here.
Well, I'm going to say they waited too long between Starrcade 97 and Super Brawl. Sting should have won the world title that night.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of those moments in WCW that we look back on and say, that was a titanic mistake.
Well, he did leave with the belt, but I see what you mean. Make it clear.
Right.
Don't let there be controversy.
Right. It was clear to everybody who watched pay-per-view, but it was muddled up the very next Monday Nitro when people tuned in, and many more people tuned in. So yeah, I think that Sting should have won the title. And the way they did it, I don't want to drag that up again. God, it will give me nightmares tonight, but
I got something fun planned for that, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, my nightmare or Starrcade? Well,
both.
Yeah.
I tried to make your dreams come true. You wouldn't cooperate. So now I'm going to make your nightmares come true.
No, hang on a second.
What?
Hang on a motherfucking second.
Why are you getting fired up at me?
Okay. I'm getting really fired up. Somebody say something about getting fired up on the leg of Gertner. Here we go.
Tommy Dreamer coming in to stop Johnny Swinger and Simon Diamond. Boy, Tommy was a day late and $1 short on that deal. But he's got the chair. He's going to sit it in front of Simon Diamond's face, get a little running start, do a little double stomp Jones here. Let's track it. Boy, that was a lot of build up for something that didn't look that bad. Oh, it's C.W. Anderson with a spine duster from hell.
So anyway, I've been having some nightmares lately that have to do with wrestling.
Uh-oh.
And I don't get what's going on. I had such a profound nightmare last night that when I woke up, I had peeled off my CPAP mask and apparently flung it on the floor.
Hang on. Did your nightmare include ding dongs?
No.
Did it include hunchbacks?
No.
Did it include the Great Muta?
No, but it did.
Halloween Havoc, a ramp, RoboCop, Elegante, Spartacus.
It included Vince McMahon, Mike Tenay, Jim Hurd, Kevin Nash. It was just weird.
And they all took turns wearing your ass out, spit roast style?
No, Colonel Robert Parker.
Oh Lord, that's a nightmare.
The Wall.
He's dead.
Bunkhouse Buck.
He's alive in Mance Warner.
They say that when you get on a CPAP machine, that your dreams potentially for some people become clear, is what they say.
Wait, who said,
JR
who
says
is they?
He now dreams. JR says he now dreams in color, and he used not to.
Who says this? You said they say it. Who is they?
I just medical studies. I've got medical studies here in my hand that say that it could enhance your dreams. So the dream last night was very vivid, and I was at the broadcast position, and I didn't have pants on. And as the show started, Colonel Robert Parker, the Wall, and Bunkhouse Buck surrounded me, and I fell to the floor, and I looked up, and they picked me up, and they helicoptered me outside. And as I'm outside on the street, I'm thinking, I'm not going to go back in there. They're not going to let me back in again. And I look up to my left, and at a bus stop, on the roof of the bus stop, is a masseuse, a very pretty Asian lady. And she said, we know you need a deep tissue massage, and you've been needing one, and I'm here to give you one.
Well, hang on. In this dream, was Road Warrior Animal there?
Stop. See, you always get in the gutter. So anyway,
what?
So this is a serious dream I'm talking about. And I say, well, yeah, because my back, you see, my back has been giving me problems. So I'm getting some deep tissue massage, some legit massage. And, so I said, yes. So she gives me a deep tissue massage. And by the time she's finished, everybody's gone home. And I went, fuck, I missed this. And I see Jim Hurt and Vince McMahon walk out the door together. And I'm thinking, God bless America. I've missed everything. And I'm trying to catch up with them. And my dream comes to an end.
So it wasn't like a happy ending?
No.
So, but you woke up frantic, kind of.
Frantic, yes.
What was the last time you remember having a happy ending? I guess let me ask it a different way.
Had a happy ending or not?
Well, I mean, how long have these nightmares lasted? Is what I'm trying to drive at. Like,
I don't know. How long do nightmares last? I mean, you can think that. Oh, you mean how many days?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, when did they start? You know, all that.
Now I have them off and on.
And you don't remember the last happy ending. They've all been nightmarish.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's about right.
Well, that's not good.
No.
Now, I did throw this in my Google machine. It says, when you start using your CPAP, you're able to get the deep level of sleep required to dream. You may experience a lot of dreams at first and then taper down to a normal amount. This occurs due to the body getting used to deep sleep again.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that it just went straight nightmare, because I just assumed it would have just been like calling WCW in the year 2000 while Lois covered your body in dog hair over and over and over.
Don't see that. What will happen tonight is I'll put the mask back on, and that's the type of nightmare I'll have, thanks to your recommendations.
By the way, there's a star and 3/4 match going on right now with Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger beating York and Matthews. York is Adam Birch, who we know is going to go on to become Joey Mercury. And I say they got that backwards. It's Christian York. He put the names backwards. Christian York is actually Jason Spence. Adam Birch is Joey Matthews. Meltzer got it backwards in his Observer. They go 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The first 3 minutes had no announcing. Meltzer says if this was an experiment, it didn't work. Finally, Cyrus came out and seemed uncomfortable doing it solo. The idea apparently was, since this was an impromptu match in the angle, Styles was going to get Dreamer for help. He shouldn't be able to get back to the announcing position in time to call the match. Anyway, while that makes sense, it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Star and 3 quotas. Oh, yeah. I do want to mention there was a real bad thing that happened here.
What, in the arena or in this match?
Are you done tell me about your stupid dreams that story went nowhere, or is there more to it?
No, there's nothing. That's the only vivid dream I can remember because I had it last night. A lot of those dreams or nightmares, it will maybe haunt me during the day and then I'll forget about them like I do everything else.
It haunts you during the day?
Sometimes it did today.
Whoa. So what you told me about a minute ago was last night's stream?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you going to put a dream sound effect on this when we play it on the air for everybody?
I can.
Some dream sequence music would have really set that off.
Well, then maybe I'll edit it in.
Yeah, I like it. Meltzford, right. There are two unfortunate mishaps regarding the usage of fire, and the most serious. Before the show, Sinister Minister was working with a fire blower gun gimmick, and there was an accident as he was playing around with it, and it went off. It left a bullet-sized hole in his stomach, tearing off a piece of his thumbs and forefinger and badly burning his left hand, which is going to result in nerve damage. He was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, bleeding badly because it cut his wrist and severed an artery, and he went into shock. He underwent plastic surgery, which apparently saved the hand. Luckily, the shrapnel didn't penetrate into his internal organs. He had exploratory surgery the next morning, and it's believed there is some nerve damage in two of his fingers, and he'll probably need a nerve transplant. On TV during the show, they attempted to explain the accident with the decision by Paul Heyman made for the announcers to claim that F.B.I. had attacked Minister and cut off one of his fingers as sort of a mafia-like hit, which came across incredibly gross, graphic, ill-advised, and a decision that was heavily criticized by many in and out of the company. Angel of Da Baldies took the power bomb through the flaming table momentarily, had fire burning on his back and on his head, and suffered first and second degree burns on the back of his back and head. So lots of people are getting burned up here in the tail end of ECW, Tony.
I just,
and I don't know if you're paying attention, but we've transitioned right into a next match here. It's Kid Kash and CW Anderson. And this is much better than the first match, by the way. First match got star and 3/4. This gets 3 1/4 stars. The real question is, Tony, how committed are you to AEW? Are you willing to work with an explosive device next week on Dynamite?
No, I'm not.
What do you mean?
No, unless it's a gimmick explosive device, you dumbass.
No. This is a shooting gimmick here.
Oh, shooting gimmick. Okay. I like them shooting gimmicks. Hey, I expect this to be a much better match because, we've always talked about how much we like Kid Kash and what he could do. And
CW Anderson.
And CW Anderson. Absolutely. So absolutely. Yeah, man. I'm sure it's much, oh man.
You said, oh man.
Well, it was a hell of a lariat.
Oh man.
So you're in one of them damn moods today, but that's okay.
I'm not in the mood, buddy. I love you.
That's all part of your charm.
I love you. I love you like a miner loves gold.
Standing switch. By the way, as this is airing on a Wednesday, or for our fine friends on Patreon, are you going to are you coming to Jacksonville this weekend?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of friends who are coming to Jacksonville this weekend.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you'll have fun.
We will, I think.
Awesome.
We have a lot of our patrons coming.
Yes, you do. I know of at least 6.
Yep.
I shan't be there. That was originally the plan, and well, I'm married.
I love it.
So that got vetoed.
Welcome to the married life. It's just like that got vetoed, like me coming to Super Bowl Sunday in Las Vegas. You guys got vetoed.
Well, here's the thing on this, just so you know, she wasn't anti going to Jacksonville. It was a matter of, originally we were bringing my nephew.
Okay.
And originally someone else was going, and that wouldn't have matched. That wouldn't have worked out. And we needed to go somewhere other than there. So now we're going somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever excuse you want to come up with is fine.
You're familiar with family squabbles.
Ooh. Yes, I am.
Well, so I'm just saying we got an audible in that regard. So I'll still be in Florida. I just won't be on your side. Family stuff, if you will. You're not following any of that, are you?
No, I'm following. I get it that you're going to be on another part of Florida. That's what you're going to be.
Yes.
You're going to be on the Gulf Coast. Obviously.
Yeah. I'll be in the Panhandle.
Okay. That's a nice place to be.
Maybe like Destin, maybe like Miramar Beach, maybe like Panama City, somewhere in there.
I've never been to Destin. You've obviously been to Destin, right?
Yeah. The reason I'm going is, Well, first of all, it's just going to be a nice little break. Take the girls to the beach, get in a heated pool, the whole thing. But I'm, looking at a little real estate.
Oh my God. Oh my God, JR. You're going to have yourself a beach place.
That's my 40th birthday present from me to me. That doesn't happen until the end of June. So I got I don't know, 8 months to figure it out. So I'm going to get some ideas of, is it Miramar? Is it Destin? Is it Panama City? But one of them is going to start getting mail for me in about 8 months.
That is tremendous. And that means, get a place in Destin, which means that when you're not there, I can always come down there.
Of course. No, listen, I'm for it from an Airbnb and VRBO standpoint. Of course, the warden, she's like, no, this is going to be our second home. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'll let you pay some of the bills. I'm all about it. I'd love to be a sugar baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me be a house husband. There's enough other podcasters out here who are house husbands. I'll be the next one.
Yeah, boy, you got a lot of house husbands.
Dude, I got so many house husbands.
Absolutely.
I know so many house husbands. By the way, Meltzer says, this match clicks better than any match on the show. Kash did a dive over the top rope into a hurricane run on the floor. He also did a running leap over the guardrail onto C-Dub. When the two missed timed an old style shoulder takedown, the crowd made sure everyone knew they missed the spot. They missed a few moves, but built the match well with some spectacular moves and near falls. In particular, Anderson did an old style Harley Race standing pausing suplex while standing on the middle ropes, as well as the Arn Anderson spine buster for a near fall. Anderson blocked the moneymaker, but Kash reversed again, swinging into a DDT for the pin.
Look at that. Look how man. Now he didn't really connect there that much, but that's
a cool visual.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like what Ray Phoenix can do. Just leap up on the top and, keep your balance. And
if Kid Kash was a little taller, you got to think Vince McMahon would have did something with him. I mean, I know he had a run there, but like this guy could do really great stuff. I mean, maybe let's say it a different way. Not, I wish he was a little taller. I wish he was born 10 years later.
Okay.
Because if he was born 10 years later, he'd be with you guys right now.
Sure he would. I would think
he'd be a member of, the AEW roster. You can't tell me he couldn't have good matches with the Bucks or Jack Evans or
of course
Ray Phoenix. I mean, my gosh. And CW Anderson, are you kidding me? How well would he have fit with FTR?
These guys, this kid could perform, man.
Both of these guys. I mean, and Steve Corino too. I think this era of WCW, God damn, if they were just born 10 years later, Corino could have been Punk. CW could have been, the sixth man of that FTR group, and fuck, Kid Kash may have been part of the Elite.
Yeah.
It's fun to go back and watch this stuff with you, and we're running out of ECW pay-per-views, so we'll start doing some of their other big shows. By the way, Meltzer wrote, Simon had a problem to start the show. He blamed Christian York and Joey Matthews for hurting Swinger, who, as it was revealed moments later, wasn't hurt all that badly since he was wrestling. He then blamed Joey Styles for not crediting him for injuring Tommy Dreamer. As it turns out, this was all a backdrop for what apparently will be the monthly angle, injuring Joel Gertner so Cyrus can do commentary in his place. They never even acknowledged Cyrus having any role with anyone, so the explanation of him being there after the TNN split seems to be no explanation. He's just still there, which I kind of think is fun because Cyrus was good. He did a great job in the role, and I don't know, just because the TV deal ended doesn't mean we can't find a spot for him, but maybe that is a loose end that Paul could have tied up a little more nicely.
I didn't realize that, Don Calais was such a, good friend of Chris Jericho's.
He's from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Well,
that's a wrestling thing, Tony.
Good friend?
Yes. All those Winnipegians are Winnipeggers. Yeah. Winnipeggers. That's it.
You idiot.
See, listen, if you watched wrestling, you would know that that's a Chris Jericho gimmick. He used to say, "I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot."
I see.
But you weren't watching. You were full count.
Yeah.
Loaded bases. Let's see if Enrique can pull it off.
You talk about that like it's a bad thing.
I'm not at all.
You talk about like me having 10 jobs to try to keep the house is a bad thing.
No, I love it, dude. I've put you over like Rover for that. I'm trying to do my silly golf voice to your baseball thing, and you're not even calling it a golf thing. Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this. Would you just look at it? Would you look at it? Now, by the way, God damn it, Kevin Dunn, if you're listening, that's how you do the little camera vibration. They didn't do that on every single bump or every cut. They made it work because they did it on a big standing suplex like that, shot at the ring level, and then bounced out a little bit. That looked good. You fuck.
They may have laid the camera right on the ring.
That's what I do sometimes.
I bet you do.
Hey, I wanted to mention, saw a great joke.
Okay.
What? Maybe it wasn't even a joke, but it tickled me and I posted it to the group chat. I saw it on Facebook. What's the purpose of the dick slapping on top of the cooter before proceeding to have sex? And the first comment, to delete previous settings. Boy, that fucking tickled me. To delete previous settings. So fellas, we all do that. Next time you go and you give a little tap to tap, that's your Control Alt Delete right there. To delete previous setting.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, it is pretty funny.
You know what? While I got you, let me ask you a question that I had to really think about this week.
Okay.
What does a deaf gynecologist do?
There's your 1, 2, 3.
Let me start it over. What does a deaf gynecologist do?
What?
What does a deaf gynecologist do?
Speak a little louder. I don't know. What's the answer to that?
He reads lips.
Well, you're hammering them out today.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he can't hear what you're saying, so he has to read your lips.
Gotcha. Right. I got you. Hey, Kid Kash gets the win here.
Yes, he does. And by the way, it was a good match. 3 1/4 stars. Next up, a 2 3/4 stars match with Danny Doring, Roadkill, and Spike Dudley taking on Easy Money, Julio De Niro, and great friend of the show, Chris Hamrick. Now, Tony, before we watch this, be sure to put over Chris Hamrick real hot and heavy, or my instant messenger is going to blow up on Facebook, and we don't need that. Oh, down goes Kash, and oh, big spot. I love the big, we're going to jump on everybody move. That was sort of a Kid Kash doing that before everybody else did it type of thing.
Oh, really? That was he invented that kind of?
That spot was like specifically his. Now, here's the thing. It was probably popularized in Mexico, but he brought it and made it a regular part of his routine. And now, of course, you see it every Wednesday night.
Oh.
Would you want to wrestle in pleather or spandex?
Spandex.
So I'm just saying aesthetically, you would rather have not these pleather pants on, but a onesie like C-Dub had.
Yeah. I've worn spandex before and it's not too bad.
By the way, just now, 2 matches in, here's the open to the show. Can you believe that?
Wow.
29, 47, 48. Nah. Yeah. Hey, while we're wasting time here, one of our most requested segments, I mean, my inbox is flooded with them, are Dear Noah's.
Good God.
And I got one for us. Dear Noah, I've never been the type of woman. What? There's a woman listening to this?
Yikes.
Let me start that again. Dear Noah, I've never been the type of woman.
Oh, by the way, there are women listening to this. I want to say hello to Megan out there who listens to us.
Not mine, right?
I didn't say her name last time.
Oh, yeah. Can I continue?
Yeah.
Dear Noah, I've never been the type of woman to ask a man on a date, but I've met someone special and he just isn't picking up on my hints. I've wondered if perhaps he's not interested, but what I just know from talking with him is that we have real chemistry.
Yeah.
I've even asked him out for drinks before, under the guise of friendship, of course. He never says no, but he doesn't say yes either. So I still wait for that special moment when he stops being afraid of how strong our connection really is. I'm not sure what to do here, Noah. I'm currently in his driveway, prepared to kidnap him and his little dog too. How else am I ever going to get this man to spend any quality time with me? Yeah. And it's signed Anonymous.
So Anonymous, here's what you do. You put the car in reverse and you leave because he's a fucking dumbass. And there are a lot of men in the world who aren't dumbasses. You just do not need to be around one. And my little dog over here agrees with me, right? Good boy. And there's another one.
Did I tell you the other day that I talked to one of Klondike Bill's grandkids?
Really?
Yep.
Was it?
This is not one we've heard from before.
Okay.
I guess he had a whole heap and helping of them.
Okay.
But imagine that. But one of them found me after hearing us talk about Klondike on some of our early shows and wrote me a real nice email talking about how cool it was to hear stories of his grandfather and how much it confirmed everything he remembered about him. Because as a kid, he told him all kinds of awful shit that his mom probably wished he didn't tell him. But you know, we've told all the crazy parking lot panties and stories like that about Klondike, but I said, like what? And he said, well, he told me a joke that I didn't get at the time, but once I got a little older, it was the funniest thing ever, especially knowing it came from my grandfather, but he was definitely Klondike Bill. And I'm like, well, you can't just set that up. I got to hear the joke. You ready?
Yeah, boy.
Son, I ate so much pussy when I was your age, I had to go to the dentist for a haircut.
I don't remember Klondike Bill having more than one grandchild, but there you go.
Well, that he claimed, right?
Yeah, right. By the way, who's the girl in the gold here?
That's Electra. We've talked about her before. She was on The Sopranos. She used to whip them fangs out at the bottom.
That's right. At the Bada Bing Club, right?
Yes. By the way, whether or not Klondike Bill had a grandchild or they actually wrote me such a letter is irrelevant. This is called theater of the mind, Tony.
Oh, got it.
Jesus Christ. When did you become a Mizark? Taking everything so fucking literally.
I've always been a Mizark.
Look at what we're watching and you're taking this serious. This is funny. Haha, son. We're just, laughs, entertainment.
Yeah. Look, they got themselves an Amish feller.
Looks like Cassio, doesn't it?
A little bit skinnier than Cassio, I think this guy is.
I'm just saying.
And the other guy kind of has a Buff Bagwell type look to him.
Hey, he listens to the show. Don't you put that evil on him.
Who is this again?
That's Danny Doring. And his gimmick was he came from Taz's school, the House of Hardcore. And the concept was his gimmick is he's going to do a lot of traditional old school wrestling, but it may or may not involve rest holds. So if he snatched a front face lock and held it for 4 minutes, what do you think would happen to this ECW crowd?
Yeah.
They'd start chanting boring.
Right.
Well, he would think they're chanting for him. So he'd start to get into it. And then they put him with Roadkill. And he was, and by the way, that used to always escape me. He's angry Amish Roadkill. And he would always twist his hands and yell chickens like he was choking the chicken. Flogging the dolphin.
I think I remember you telling me that. Yeah. Choking the chicken. Okay.
Don't forget to put over, Chris Hamrick when you see him now. He's in the corner with the ponytail. Got the full pleather outfit on like he likes, got the Confederate flag on his left leg, but it was a different time.
So I have to put him over so he won't troll you. Is that it?
Just put him over.
Okay.
Just help me put him over. Oh, here comes the mic. We got to track it. Chris is going to talk. Here we go.
Thing he does with his hands, that's choking a chicken.
I believe so. I wouldn't know.
If I were out there with Electra, I'd be choking my chicken.
Hey, you people shut the hell up when I talk.
We need subtitles for him.
It's quite a Chicago accent.
He's talking American.
It's not a Chicago accent.
That's not how we talk up in Canada, don't you know?
As you have just seen, Kid Kash just got his ass handed to him, so he's not your partner.
I didn't see that.
So it would be really unfair for 3 against 2, but what the fuck?
I actually like that promo. It'd be unfair for 3 against 2, but what the fuck? By the way, do you ever remember being in a WCW crowd and the crowd start chanting at a performer, "You suck dick. You suck dick"? I don't remember that happening.
No, it seems like the ECW crowd kind of ramped it up a little bit. A lot of crowd would say, you suck, but they would go right for "you suck dick." Because you suck could be, you suck lemons, you suck oranges, you suck a vacuum cleaner, you suck up dirty water and spit it out, but they would leave nothing to chance. You suck dick.
I also liked, whenever they would have, a guy get in there, I think his name was Eric, and he would sweep the ring. And I think occasionally people gave him different nicknames. I think Gallows refers to his son as Brush Boy because he had somebody sweep the ring up in between matches. Well, they would chant at him, "Sweep it up, asshole, sweep it up." And then they do their clapping. And I think that is tremendous. And next time Lois is trying to clean up around the house, I think you should try it out.
Yeah, boy.
Sweep it up, asshole, sweep it up. Boy, Spike Dudley is hauling ass in here, and he's laying forearms and they're selling them big. Oh, and now he's biting Chris Hamrick.
How about if I substitute in that chant, asshole, old bitch?
Well, I mean, oh God damn that Hamrick bump. Oh,
man, he take a tremendous bump, man.
That's his signature bump. And my God, what a bump.
It was tremendous. I want to see that bump again. I hope they show it again. Oh my God. Look, man. I tell you what, that Chris Hamrick, he's a bumping motherfucker, isn't he?
Oh God. You should see that one he took on Raw that one time. It was fucking unreal.
Watch out. He's going to take a third one. He's tough, man.
He is.
How many people can take 3 bumps on the floor like that?
And he's first one up.
Look how he's selling getting up. Oh God.
He's the underrated worker of our generation.
Man, no, he's not going to do it again, is he? He goes down Conrad.
He saved that guy's life single-handedly.
Yeah. He went down a 4th time that time. 4th time. I hope, here comes Spike. I hope Spike doesn't. Well, okay. Well, it's not as good without Hamrick there.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's kind of nonsensical without Hamrick, if I'm honest.
Right. It's not a bad spot. Don't want to take anything away from Spike. Here comes Hamrick. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. After 4 shots on the floor, he takes that from that chicken choker.
He's the flair of the match.
Oh, where is he?
Oh,
the night?
big Vader bomb.
All right. Well, there you go. Well,
we lost our momentum without Hamrick in there.
Yeah, we sure did.
By the way, we should mention Meltzer gave this 2 3/4 stars. I think it needs 2 more stars just because Hamrick was in there.
That's right.
I mean, if we're honest, Chris Hamrick is the Kenny Omega of 2000.
I wholeheartedly agree. Actually, these kids are having a pretty good match.
Real question. Why is Spike Dudley wearing khaki pants? Does he just leave the old Navy?
Well, because he didn't really give a fuck.
This feels like a lost gear bag situation because we don't have our, what did he used to wear? He wore overalls and a flannel, but he had wrestling boots.
Well, just, you know how you just get in that I don't give a fuck mood. You ever been that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, speaking of things we don't give a fuck about, we should mention that next week is the November 12th, 1988 episode of World Championship Wrestling. I love me some old school WCW.
This was either right at the end of, will be right at the end of JCP or Turner had already taken it over.
It's going to be good. You don't think?
I think it'll be great. You know what's better than that?
Nothing.
Fellowshipping with you like this and getting to be able to communicate to many of the wrestling fans out there who are just like you and me.
Can I tell you what they did on this show that you'll like?
This show?
Yeah. The one we're watching next week.
Oh yeah. What about this show?
Ric Flair versus, can I guess?
Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes.
George South.
Oh God. Oh. Should be a great one.
You remember that one where people argued he gave him too much, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I remember that. I remember you and I also talking about it, gave him too much. But again, remember, if you don't give him something, you beat no one. Can Hamrick throw some working punches or what? Or what? Watch this. He'll throw no one here. No. Look at that cell job. That's a Michael Hayes cell job right there. And the fans are into it. I don't know about you, but I if it were me, if I bought this pay-per-view, I would say I've seen it all. I don't need to see any more.
I've seen it all.
I've already been entertained.
Don't need to see it anymore. By the way, whenever we talk about wrestling from that era, it always makes me think of the old Dusty Road Warrior spike in the eye.
Yeah, that's what I was when you talked about that. I thought maybe that would be the show, the old spike in the eye. When was that anyway? That was close to that era. That was close.
We're going to watch it. It's our first episode in December. It aired on December 3rd, 1988.
Okay, yeah.
We have some good stuff going on here in WHW in the coming months.
On WHW and on ad-free shows, it's just like, I've talked about with many people over the last couple of weeks, CTE, and we're not talking about concussion. CTE is better than it's ever been.
Well, that's nice of you to say.
Watch out. Watch out. Spot of the night. Holy shit. Holy shit. Spot of the night. And then he takes a great bump. Oh, that's cool. That one too. Shit, man. That was almost a hell of a finish right there. Ducking out of the way of that. And it's like, they blocked the acid drop. This is good. This is good stuff, guys.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is a good match. Although, just now it's getting better. Oh shit. Just ever spank on the ass and keep moving. Jesus.
Spank on the ass?
That's what he did. He slapped her on the ass. The chicken choker did. Oh.
Chicken choker?
Chicken choker. There's your finish. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, goddamn chicken choker.
He smacked her on the ass as he went about his business. It's not that I would condone anything like that, but that was a part of the match.
Oh, you're a fan.
The match? Oh yeah. That was a good match.
I mean, would it have been better if Hamrick would have beat everybody?
Isn't that what we just saw?
I'm just saying Hamrick should have just beat everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have. Hamrick should have. They all should have just like
gauntlet match, one after another.
Yeah, pinned all three of them.
At the same damn time.
That's what I thought we were saying. Had I been booking, that's what I would have booked.
Sure. Hey, whenever we're talking about Hamrick, we see the old rebel flag there, and we haven't talked about it here. We lost Tracy Smothers, man.
Man, that was a bad day. you had sent me a text, and it was odd that you had sent me a text right after you had sent me a text about trying to help in the funds for him, add to the, and then the next thing I saw from you minutes later that he had passed away. So, yeah. Yeah. I'll say it again. I've said it many times. Tracy Smothers and Steve Armstrong, one of the underrated tag teams of their era. And they could do a lot of stuff. And Tracy did a lot of stuff. And I didn't get to see much of his FBI stuff. Is he on the FBI here? Is he going to be in this one? Because FBI is coming up in this show.
Oh, that's a great question. Let me take a look, see what we got here. I kind of forgot that FBI was even here. Yeah. No, he's not doing it here.
Yeah, okay.
This is Rhino. Let's track it.
You're gonna have to shit your face out next time you sit on the toilet. And you know what, New Jack? You are my example. And then you'll see why I am the ECW World Television Champion. Why? People, their only chance is to wrestle me. And they won't win. They won't win. Why? Because I'm the ECW World Television Champion. Rhino.
So, next time you sit on the toilet, you're going to have to shit your face out. It's not a sentence you hear all the time.
Yes.
Shit your face out.
Shit your face out. There's a lot of these lines that I need to write down so I can remember.
Shit your face out. Shit your face out.
You suck dick. You suck dick. Shit your face out and you suck dick. I'm writing these down as we talk.
Attaboy. By the way, we should remember, speaking of shitting your face out, we recently went back and watched Jim Ross shit his own head out on Raw with a little help from Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's available right now over at adfreeshows.com. And coming up as our bonus episode this month, Tony, we're finally going to make it happen after a long enough wait, enough build up, enough anticipation. You and I are going to watch the worst pay-per-view in history. It's Heroes of Wrestling.
Which includes what I understand, the worst match ever from what I've read, and I haven't seen it yet, which would have been the Bushwhackers against the Sheik and was it, Volkov?
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So, well, when you go back and you say, we are going to go back in history and some of the great workers are going to work for us again, you got to, maybe you don't realize what you're getting into. But here's the deal. When I think about that, and I think about not everybody can be a wrestling promoter.
Right.
They think they can, but they can't. Not everybody can take pro wrestling and make it something that someone wants to be a part of, like you, Conrad Thompson, like Tony Khan, like Vince McMahon, like the Crockett's did.
I'm not in that group.
Oh, no. No.
I'm just a fan.
You're just a fan. So this is Chris Chetti?
Yep, that's Taz's cousin, which was really the first clue I ever had that Taz wasn't black. I just always assumed.
Yeah, well, even Taz said, he said a lot of people thought I was a black guy. But he was, Taz, a dark-skinned Sicilian and from New York.
I forget who it was, but supposedly, like the first time Scorpio was back or whatever, he came and sat by Taz, and maybe it was somebody else, but he came and sat by Taz in the story and says, us brothers got to sit together. Something like that.
So Scorpio didn't know either.
Well, maybe it wasn't Scorpio, but it was another African-American wrestler, and they made the same assumption that I did. And I instantly felt like less of a dumbass. Cause I was like, well, I don't know, but, and here comes Nova. And no longer is he a comedy act. He's now a wrestling innovator, much like you guys had Mortis or Canyon. Well, they've got Nova, and Nova's going to come up with some crazy offense.
Well, he's starting out with some very good working punches. I got to give him that.
And you probably like this where he's just got like the spider on his gear. It looks like he's a comic book guy, huh?
Spider on his gear. Yeah, man. You sure that's not a dragonfly?
Whatever it is, it's something. It's a bug. It's an insect. It looks like, what's that goof y'all got that climbs mountains and buildings, and he's got like a mask on and shoots webs out of his gimmicks or whatever?
That's called Spider-Man.
There you go.
Okay. And he doesn't shoot.
Well, but my point is, then that other fucking goof who drives the car and he's rich, but he doesn't really have any powers. He's got like this special belt, but he's got an animal. He's got an animal on his chest.
Fucking mouth when you're talking about Batman.
There you go. My point is, there's an animal on their gear, and then they're that and put man at the back. So I guess you're saying this should be Dragonfly Man.
Could be. No, I think it's Nova actually.
Oh, well, maybe
named after a very famous Chevrolet vehicle back in the 60s.
Well, it's a piece of shit.
And also a very famous show, I believe, on PBS, Nova.
I'd rather listen to this podcast than PBS.
Okay. So would most other people.
By the way, I do want to mention the Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
The readers of the Wrestling Observer gave it 0.0% thumbs in the middle.
Yeah.
1.2% thumbs up. 98.8% thumbs down. Worst match: former Bushwhackers versus Iron Sheik and Volkov.
I wonder if the 2 or 3 or how many people that gave it a thumbs up really.
It was one
person. I wonder if that one person really now has gone back since then and really questioned if they knew what they were, if they really knew wrestling.
Meltzer wrote about that show like this. He says, it was the worst pay-per-view show of all time. Mm-hmm. It set new standards for bad wrestling. It made former worst match of the years like Hogan versus Warrior look like great athletic contests. Big Boss Man versus Al Snow with dogs around the ring barked less than many matches on this show.
Wow.
Here's the match rankings. Match 1, half a star. Match 2, -3 stars. Match 3, 1.25 stars.
Ooh.
Match 4, -459.4 stars. Absolute 0. This is the worst match I've ever rated in my life. Match 5, dud. Match 6, -2.25. Match 7, -1 star. Match 8, -3 stars. I can't fucking wait to watch this with you.
For everyone that's listening and wants and is going to watch this very special bonus episode we have coming up in November, I just want to tell you that we are going to watch with you 8 matches, and it just tells you how much we love you. We are going to sacrifice our time to watch shit, much like I used to do in WCW back in 2000, but that's what we're going to do. Did Lou E. Dangerously just give Nova a nut shot?
I missed it.
Yeah, I think it did on that. And Chetti had opened himself up. Yikes almighty.
Yikes almighty. This match we're watching right now with Chris Chetti and Nova, 9 minutes and 43 seconds. And Meltzer says it's an impromptu loser leaves town match. And it's done this way because Chetti, who issued the challenge before the match, has taken a WWF developmental deal. One thing about ECW, in steps like this, they always honor them. They worked hard. And he would say it was a little sloppy in the original setup, but the last reversal into the move looked great. Even if the landing itself looked very scary. 2.25 stars. So the finish apparently is going to be a nail biter.
I remember back in the day when Kevin Sullivan was booking, and I always had a lot of fun with Sully. I really did. when Sully was booking, I remember one time I said, yeah, but you know that they worked hard. And he says, so does my fucking plumber. I'll never will forget him saying.
Wait, that was Sullivan who said that?
Yeah. Said it to me at that time. And I got it. Just because you work hard doesn't mean you do a good job, right? But I do appreciate hardworking kids in the business. I do. I always have. And I would imagine all those negative stars and duds that I just heard from your mouth about Heroes of Wrestling tells us not everybody on that card worked hard. They were just in it for a payday doing their shit. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll make sure we agree because we don't always agree, but we agreed on that. These kids are working hard. They are.
The next match, by the way, is Balls Mahoney and Chili Willy.
Oh,
they're going to be taking on Da Baldies.
We've already talked about how we like Chili Willy.
And everybody loves balls.
Chili Willy.
And balls.
Da Baldies.
Vito. No, not Vito.
Yes.
The Angel and Tony DeVito. You can't say Vito. You got to put Tony Duh in front.
Yeah. Hey, I understand after this match is over, we are going to be hearing from New Jack, and we have to track that.
Sure. Be glad to.
Which reminds me, are they going to do any more seasons of Dark Side of the Ring?
I'm not supposed to say. Apparently I spilled the beans and did too much the other day. Got in trouble.
Okay. Well, then, hey, we don't want to promote anything they do we? I mean, yeah, just
no.
Let's not help you promote anything.
Well, I think the thing is I announced it before they did accidentally.
Oh,
I'm like, so, hey, Eric, they were over at your house doing Dark Side of the Ring the other day. Weren't y'all talking about this and that? And then of course it was out for like 5 days. And then I got a text. Hey, just so you know, we hadn't announced that we were doing a season 3 or what any of the topics were. And I'm like, okay, well, I have now. So
yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to those guys like every day. So I kind of took for granted that, oh yeah, nobody knows you guys have been working on this for months now.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, communication is the essence of what you do. I want you to remember that.
By the way, this is going to be a badass season.
Well, are we allowed to say that?
Yes, I'm allowed to say that. It's already out there now.
Well, hey, that's good.
Man, he stuck that damn pile driver, didn't he?
Sure did.
Scene 2. Looks like this is going to be the third one. 3 pile drivers in a row. Oh, and there's Louis dangerously.
You know what they say? It always takes a dangerously to fuck up something good. 1, 2. Whoa, he didn't fuck it up. Wow. 20 years ago. Time just flies by. I can't believe it. I really can't. I can't believe how time flies by. When you say 2020, doesn't it feel like something out of the future?
Yeah. And now we're about to start saying 2021.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine.
I know we'll never be able to say 2022.
Why? Because the world will end?
Yep. The world's going to end.
Well, I thought the world was going to end.
Matter of fact, I do need to say this, and this is all I'm going to say. This airs on Wednesday. This drops on Wednesday, November 4th. And there's a chance that by the 5th of November, the entire country will have exploded.
Shut up.
It is.
Nice finish. It didn't look that scary.
Terrible week we're going to have.
Will you shut the fuck up?
Just a fucking terrible week.
I'm going to hang up.
No, don't hang up.
First time, long time. Do you notice as you get older, your poots have more bass in them?
Oh yeah.
'Cause I heard you rip one the other day and it sounded like you had a drum set, like a foot pedal.
Where did you hear me rip one the other day, since you and I have not been together?
Oh, you thought you had hung up and you hadn't hung up.
Hey, available at lowestrules.com.
Can I tell them right now?
Yes.
You Lie, available. How come you insist that I lie about things?
Because maybe you do.
But Tony, I was limp. Tony, I was limp.
And that's another one at lowestrules.com. Can I also bring up something else?
You first, and then I got something. By the way, Chetty's out of here.
Oh, here we go.
Crowd's cheering for him.
Track it.
I've been waiting on this night, son, for too long. Tonight, it's me and you. You ain't got Justin in your corner tonight. You ain't got nobody that you can distract me so you can run up and pull that little move, throwing me through a table. You see, the last few matches we had, or the last few encounters we had, you drilled me. And I laid there. And I was in pain. The problem you had is, you didn't kill me. And when I laid there, I started thinking how to get him back. I brought out all my toys now. You gonna have to be in the ring with me tonight, looking at me one-on-one. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Stephen King couldn't have dreamed up a better thing than this. You understand? This will be the night that I open you up like a doctor and gut you and eat your guts out like a buzzard. And then I'll take that little belt of yours. I don't want it to wear. I don't want it to show no fans. I don't want it for my kids to play with it. I got car problems right now. And I'm gonna pawn that belt. I'm gonna go down on the strip and find a hooker and give it to her for something. I'm gonna take it to my boys in the hood and gamble with it. I'm gonna do everything you ain't supposed to do with it because I don't care about that belt. What I care about is getting your big fat butt in the ring with me and taking my staple gun and boom, right in the head, and boom, in the head again. And I take this and stick it in your face and rip you wide open. Then what you gonna do? Sit there and squeal like a pig. This is your night. We gonna knuckle up, boy. We gonna knuckle up. Bring your ass to me, cause you mine.
That may very well be.
That was a tremendous interview.
Cause it's real.
That was tremendous, man. I don't want that belt. I'm gonna get my car fixed. I'm gonna get me a hoe, and we're gonna gamble with it. And I'm gonna gut you out and eat those guts like a buzzard. Oh man, that was. I don't know if you can give interviews stars. That's a 5-star interview right there, guys and girls. Jesus, fuck. And then, you know, listen, because of what he was known for, right?
Yeah.
If I'm Rhino right now, I'm fucking petrified. I am thinking, what fuck? Staple, yeah, but didn't he have a blade there or something?
Yeah, I mean, if anytime you've ever seen New Jack awake, there was something nearby to cut you with. I believe the phrase is something nearby to cut bitch-made motherfuckers like Tony Schiavone limb from limb.
Okay.
I don't know what
made.
I don't even know what that means, if I'm honest.
Well, I know that my name really wasn't associated with that until you just kind of made it up right there, but I get it.
What does that mean? What are you saying though?
Well, I'm asking you, what does that mean? Throwing my name in there like that.
Oh, I'm just trying to help get you over.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. You are the one that got me back over. So
yeah. So I know a thing or two about getting Noah's over. Speaking of which, I got a Noah over earlier this year, or last year actually, with something that you put a cap on that was commonly referred to as Tony Reed's rap. And thankfully you put that one to bed, and we started to do a little Dear Noah, and we got some advice earlier today, but we've had some suggestions from some of our top guys over at adfreeshows.com.
Okay.
And the suggestion is Tony sings Love Ballads. I want to take your temperature on that.
Would be like Barry Manilow songs.
I don't know, like maybe something from Bryan Adams or Meatloaf, Boys to Men, something like that.
Cool. Da 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 da. It cuts like a knife. Da.
What are you doing?
But it feels so right. Like that.
Not exactly like that.
Okay. Hey, here comes our buddy Chilly Willy.
Well, I'm glad you're game for it because
I didn't say I was game for it. Let me bounce it off the gimmick attorney. See what he says.
Wait. Oh, so he told you to quit reading rap?
No, he didn't tell me to quit reading rap, but common sense did. But I was, I like his advice.
Better than mine. You like it better than mine?
Well, yeah, at times.
But hang on now. My advice got you over. His advice kept you out of trouble. You see the difference?
Well, yeah. So I like some words in between.
So let's go get over. I just sent you lyrics to a song.
Oh God.
It's a Boys to Men song.
Okay. I don't know anything about Boys to Men, so I don't even know the tunes. So
well, that's great. That makes it better. You see?
No, we're not going to do that. Service.
Yeah, you're a big Chilly Willy guy.
Yeah, I just thought Chili Willy could do a lot of stuff. He looked good. Well, New Jack will be really pissed if they jump off a balcony before him.
Yeah, that would not go over well.
No, So they just need to fight it. Don't go down. New Jack gonna do it. He's gonna do it. So you guys just don't do it.
I guess we should mention, Chili Willy is from North Kakalaki. You ever get hit in the head with a beer?
No.
What about 2 beers?
No.
Chili Willy used to call that.
I'm not so sure I've been hit in the head intentionally in my life.
I can fix that next time I see you.
Well, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you got some of your redneck friends from Alabama that love to hit me in the head.
Well, what I do, and I've done this to you, just don't remember. Sometimes whenever we go to a restaurant, it's a nice restaurant, they'll bring like a loaf of bread, not like some rolls, but like a whole loaf, and you have to carve it off, and they bring you a little secondary thing of butter. You're in the loop on this. So sometimes what they'll do is they'll stick the knife in the loaf. So you got a loaf with a knife in it.
Yeah.
And this happened with me and you once, and I forget, this may have been that time we had lunch at Roost Chris for lunch in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
And, my phrase is, Tony, have you ever been hit in the head with a loaf of bread? And he said, no. And then I reared back with the handle of the knife and the,
inflicted,
loaf on and I hit you right in the head with a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
So you said you'd never been hit in the head, but I hit you in the head with a loaf of bread.
Well, yeah, I was talking about, like a kendo stick.
Well, he just hit him with a solo cup of beer. On some level, I hit you with a loaded knife. That's way, way worse than old Milwaukee in a plastic cup. By the way, look at Sam walking down the steps there. Sam had his hair like he liked it right there, son.
Don't fuck with his hair.
Or his buttons on his radio. If he's like Ordell Roby, he'll fucking kill you.
Those fans are like, they're in their element here, aren't they? ECW.
How would you explain this to a non-wrestling fan? All the guys moving their arms in the crowd like that. You would be like,
I'd say this is audience participation. This is like singing the lyrics to Judas with Chris Jericho.
Ugh.
Did I hear you go,
Yeah, I fucking hate that.
You do?
I think it'll be awesome when he's a baby face in 10 days, but it sucks dick right now. He's a heel.
Okay.
I want to hate Chris Jericho. He was the most hated dude ever 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And now he's like the cool heel. I just want him to be a damn baby face. So I'm ready for MJF to whip his ass this Saturday at Full Gear. And listen, this is that's painful to me. Cause as long as I've known you, I've hated MJF. I hate his guts. I hate him so much.
Well, who doesn't?
But I'm just saying, I would like to see him beat the shit out of Chris Jericho if it means that Jericho then becomes a full-blown babyface and he can just make us all laugh again. But I hate everybody and I hate all you assholes heel Chris Jericho. But now that he's like cool heel, just be the fucking cool guy. Let's all want to cheer for you. So I hope MJF beats him into a babyface and then it'll be cool to cheer for Chris Jericho again.
Okay.
Then I'll sing the song.
Okay.
Cause I like the song.
Okay.
Him being a bad guy singing it has ruined it for me.
Okay. So maybe I shouldn't have drawn that correlation for these fans going, because it kind of got you on a crazy tangent here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
No, I was just trying to help you promote, your pay-per-view this weekend. Because
you, as always, you do a great job because, just like, wrestling promoters before you know how to promote.
By the way, I have a hilarious story about Jim Ross to tell you, off air. But this Saturday, quite the special day for you, my friend.
Yes, sir. I got two things in once.
You're going to wake up bright eyed and bushy tailed and scoot on over to the Jaguar Stadium and make sure that all systems are go for your live broadcast with the Florida Gators taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, one of the oldest rivalries in the South. Historically, a game where 100,000 fans get shit house drunk And that may be a little different this year, but as soon as it's over, and I mean, as soon as you're going to go scoot over to backstage in AEW and, get your butthole cleaned out, take the world's fastest shower, throw on the new, AEW blazer and, do your thing for Full Gear, a double header. You're like the Deion Sanders of broadcasting.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Baseball, football.
Yeah. Except now football wrestling.
Football wrestling. Yeah.
And by the way, not for no Mississippi Mud Hens, for the goddamn Georgia Bulldogs, and for all elite wrestling. That's doing it at the highest level. Here's what I need you to do though. I need you to demand, and I'm talking about demand. And if you don't text him, I will. Dear Mr. Khan, I expect helicopter transportation, just like Bo Jackson and just like Deion Sanders got when they were pulling double duty 25, 30 years ago. I demand it for my client, Noah Anthony Schiavone, so he can get all the way from Jaguar Stadium to Daly's place. He needs heliportation. He needs helitransport. He needs a helicopter ride.
Conrad, it's 200 yards away.
Can you take best friend's mom's van?
I can get up from the Georgia broadcast booth and walk. I know the direction. I can walk. I could walk it with my eyes closed.
No. We're negotiating though. This is like when you ask for no brown M&Ms, in your rider. Yeah. Now I was going to ask FTR if they give you a ride in that pickup truck, but that doesn't seem that fucking reliable. I've seen it not work sometimes.
No. Yeah.
Oh, here's what we could do. Dr. Britt Baker's walking around just fine. Why don't we get her old gimmick, and why don't Reba come pick you up?
Now I'm all for that.
Reba could pick you up and scoot you over, get you in her makeup chair.
Yep.
That'd be kind of fire.
Because Reba does makeup too,
Oh, I'm well aware.
I bet you are.
She did makeup at StarCast.
Yes. I am well aware of that too.
How do you not love Rebel? By the way, she'll be doing a Zoom this Sunday, what we're calling ad-free shows happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be joined by Corey Ryan Forster.
What?
Yeah.
You're putting that sawed off little non-funny runt on ad-free shows?
Alcohol, rednecks, comedy, and a beautiful lady. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Where's the comedy part? Oh, okay. Corey Ryan.
When you do a run in.
So they're going to, let's see what they're going to do with the table here.
Well, hopefully they're going to set it on fire because they're going to permanently burn a man. Remember, we talked about it at the start of the.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the spot where they're going to.
Yes. Angel is about to get burned up, son. First and second degree burns on the back of his head and back.
Jesus.
Kind of, now I think after seeing this and just hearing what all's happened here, I mean, they just loaded that thing down with lighter fluid. That's unbelievable. Oh God. I think you got to track it. Here we go.
All right.
Do you see them pouring water on him and trying to bring him towels in the corner?
I knew I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it, but yeah, I mean, I saw him get to the corner quickly. Now I see him working on him. Ooh.
I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah. And even the fans, some of the fans realize what's going on.
I'm going to stick to mortgages.
Yeah. When you push the envelope, sometimes you push it too far. You're seeing it.
This is their 8th November to remember. They did it 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. And here we are in the new millennium. I love that camera shot. That angle.
Mm-hmm. It's because you don't see it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a change of pace. Give me something different.
Think outside of the box. Talking to the camera as always.
Why do you hate that so much?
Because it's overdone. It's overdone.
How cool is it? I have those ECW letters in the studio right behind me right now.
It's cool stuff, man.
Oh, big chair shot and another for Tony. And there goes Angel. Big bump on the ramp. Nobody wants to take a suplex on the ramp or unprotected chair shot. Chili Willy getting a little comeuppance there.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, big power bomb. Oh, through the two chairs down to the concrete. Nutcracker sweet off the top. DeVito's dead. And then they nearly killed a man. 3 angles we've seen now of human flesh into the flames.
And this was a kid you said needed plastic surgery?
No, that was Sinister Minister, who you know as James Vandenberg out there with Mortis back in the day. Oh, look at Sam trying to cool him off. Sam with the quick. Oh, here it is right here. Track it.
Pay-per-view of the year. ECW's November to Remember is upon us. Now, traditionally speaking, November is a time of year when people give thanks. And here tonight, I am certain that the original gangsta, New Jack, is thankful that he's going to face the man-beast Rhino for the World Television title. Likewise, Just Incredible, Sandman, and Steve Corino must be very thankful for their opportunity to face the World Heavyweight Champion, Jerry Lynn, in the first ever Double Jeopardy match. Tajiri, what are you thankful for? You're exactly right. That Francine is quite a feast for the eyes. Personally, I'm thankful for the fact that Yoshihiro Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck are going to get the opportunity to beat the living hell out of the F.B.I. and regain the ECW World Tag Team titles. November to Remember promises to be a veritable cornucopia of carnage. Let the feast begin!
How about that skit?
Pretty entertaining. Here we go, buddy. Here we go. I'm Rhino. I'm Rhino. I'm shitting my pants right now, buddy.
By the way, they're going to go 7 minutes and 55 seconds. Oh, I should mention this write up from the last match is so good. This is about Balls and Chili against the Baldies. It was better than what you'd expect. Mahoney rattled DeVito's brain with a chair. Crowd was chanting for a girl in the stands to take off her top while these 3 guys were massacring their foreheads. They brawled in the stands. Everyone ended up blading. Mahoney gave DeVito a very dangerous looking nutcracker sweet off the middle ropes and a regular one to Angel. Mahoney and Willy sprayed 2 bottles of lighter fluid all over the table and Balls put Angel through the flaming table for the win. 2.25 stars. Now of this one, he writes, match consisted of nothing but New Jack hitting Rhino with one weapon after another until the finish. New Jack hit the first ref with a garbage can, which brought out the heel ref, Danny Daniels. He juiced right away. Rhino missed a pretty spectacular looking splash off the top. Finish sees New Jack hit the guitar shattering spot over Rhino's head, but Rhino no-sold Jarrett's finisher and speared Jack through a table for a fast count pin by Daniels, 3/4 star. So here he comes. He's doomed to be a killer since he came out the nutsack. Ladies and gentlemen, it's New Jack. How about him with a pacifier in his mouth?
I saw that and I'm thinking it can't be a pacifier. And then they cut to a wider shot, but apparently it is.
It is. That used to be a thing.
Pacifier. Well, yeah, when you were an infant.
No. I'm saying even in hip hop videos a few years prior to this.
Okay.
They'd show girls like eating popsicles and sucking on pacifiers, and they had dookie braids. It was the whole thing.
Okay.
How about New Jack wearing orange boots? You know what?
Orange.
He's doing this just to fucking rib Taz.
Don't want to do that, man.
I swear to you, there is no chance he's wearing all this orange and black unless it's to fucking piss off Taz. Cause as you know, Taz claims ownership of those two colors. He's even got heat with Halloween, which I'm pretty sure, I didn't look it up, but I'm pretty sure Halloween existed before Taz was wrestling. But
Probably
I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, but if he had a chance, he'd choke out Halloween.
Oh, for sure. Gimmick infringement.
Damn straight, man.
When I first told him about Orange Cassidy, he said, I don't know who she is, but she's stealing my gimmick.
That's Taz, and that's why we love him.
Orange. I think if I was going to get a Lamborghini, which I'm not, because as we know, I'm too fat for a Lamborghini. That's been well documented here on the show. But if I was going to, I couldn't get an orange one, which is one of the more popular colors, just because he owns it, right? I wouldn't even be able to drive my own car.
No, you wouldn't. You would have to, after you buy it, you'd have to put it on one of those flatbed trucks and take it to him.
Right. I would at least have to hide it from him.
You're too fat. You're too fat to get in a Lamborghini.
Oh no, you just got to take the roof off.
Okay.
I've driven, Gallardos and Murcielagos and, that's not the way you say that word, whatever. And I've driven Aventadors, Urises.
Yeah.
But the Urus I could fit in just fine. It's really an Audi.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, they're all little 2-door coupes, but they have an SUV now. The SUV is like an X5. It's fine. But the other ones, I literally have to take the top off before I can sit in it. Cause I drive it by looking over the windshield like a fucking bear riding a tricycle.
So these are all Lamborghinis you're talking about.
Yeah. Or Ferraris. I'm too tall for Ferrari too. I can drive a 430, but I'm not comfortable with my head. But if we put the top back in a 458 or a 488, I can cruise around. No problem. But if it's raining, we got to switch seats, pull over. We got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sticking with like, the more comfortable machines to drive, not necessarily the more spirited driving automobiles. Cause as you know, I drive fast enough. I don't need any more help.
Yes. Everybody who knows you knows that. Do you know by any chance throughout your life, which obviously you're heading towards your 40th birthday?
Yep.
Next year, in your 39 years, how many speeding tickets you have gotten? Just a ballpark.
30,
go back.
33.
And do you know how many of those you gotten out of? Would it be the same number?
No.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I got 2 this year in January on the same trip to Florida. So I got that going for me. I got my first one coming back from an ECW show in October of 1998. And I went to driving school to get it off my record. But then I started doing pretty well and could have a car that would be fun in 2006. And it got a lot of attention, and I started to really rack them up. So by 2009, when I bought like my first really nice car, no, it was 10, I put a radar detector thing on the front and the back bumper, which would jam radars.
Oh, that's kind of illegal, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just did it for off-roading. I never used it for like actual road use, cause that would be illegal.
Right.
But for off-roading purposes, it was fun, take some of your buddies out, see if you can shoot me now, type of deal. And it would just read an error code. So anyway, I did that, and I still have that on my oldest automobile, but I grew out of that because I was like, you know what? I'm an adult. I shouldn't need this on all of my cars. Cause at one point I had it on 5 cars at once. I'm like, I got to fucking figure out how to be an adult here and drive like a normal person. So anyway, as I mentioned, I got 2 tickets in January.
As a normal person would.
But no, I had so many that I got my license suspended for a few months, for speeding tickets back in 2000, let's say 12, maybe 13. Either way, it was fine. I'm all good now. I got one ticket I'm fighting because they're trying to charge me. This is from well over a year ago, almost 2 years now. They tried to charge me with reckless driving. It wasn't reckless driving. It was 9 over the speed limit. And he didn't show me anything, blah, blah, blah. So I'm fighting it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, first of all, it's not late at night. It's the middle of the freaking day. I'm the only car on the road. And I've learned I have to parent myself, Tony. So what I'll do, an old state trooper in Alabama told me, 9, you're fine. 10, you're mine. So if the speed limit here is 60, I'm going to set my cruise control at 69 and I'm going to move my foot away. It's not on the gas. It's not on the brake. And there you go. I'm 9 over.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know. You do realize this. I say this with all sincerity, and I say this with all due respect and love to our friends in the police force, because I have cousins who are state troopers.
Yep.
My wife was in the police force. I have a great amount of respect for them and love what they do to us. But you do realize that speed limits are not for your safety. They may tell you they're for your safety, but they're not.
They're to keep the flow of traffic going.
No, the speed limits are to build revenue.
Oh,
that's all they're for. People who decide the speed limit, which I guess are your local state authorities or whatever, they come up with, oh my God.
Oh, stapled the referee.
Oh my God. They come up with these speed limits, like we'll set it 55. So anybody who's going 65, which is okay, it's not bad, we can give them tickets and we can build revenue. That's what speed limits are for. So there should be no speed limits on the interstates. Should be none. Now I'll say that and I'll probably get a ticket this week going to Jacksonville, but there shouldn't be. So Rhino's go get a spot here, huh?
Supposedly this is a big splash he misses that was pretty spectacular looking, according to Meltzer, and it was. So what's your advice on the, do you have any advice about how to not speed? I mean, what do you think about cruise control 9 over?
No.
You
don't have Waze?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Waze is pretty good. I'll tell you why I know Waze is pretty good, because it pisses the police off.
Here comes the big finish. You ready for this? Stands right back up. I can't play it without the theme music. I forgot that during this, they don't even play his music. Did you see him call him over?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that was regrettable. I missed that the first time until just now, and now I don't like it as much. I love that ECW TV title, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You've talked about that before.
When I was a fan, that was my first replica belt. I would love to find that one. Apparently it was stolen out of the locker room. Nobody knows where that one is. There was one that was originally made by Joe Marshall that was all nickel, that apparently Rob Van Dam didn't like as much, so he kept using the old one. I think that's in the hands of a private collector in the Midwest somewhere. Rob still has his previous version, which was all gold. That looks like a rip-off Winged Eagle, but I want that one. I can't fucking find it. But if you've got it,
you put out an APB on it.
I'm doing it right now, Tony. If you know the whereabouts of that belt and you could help me broker a deal, or you would sell it to me, I would be glad to buy you a new Toyota Camry.
Wow. Those are nice cars.
I mean, maybe not a Camry, but you get the point. You get the
Those are dependable cars.
It's car money, baby. That's what people say in the belt community. I'm not paying that for a belt. That's car money. Well, I will. Conrad at saveaconrad.com. And I've saved my money over the years, so I can, I can buy stupid wrestling belts if I want to.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, I think this might be the last time I'm talking to you. Sans video coming up here in November, we're going to start doing video versions of our podcast over at adfreeshows.com. And en route to Huntsville, Alabama right now is my new studio setup. All my new furniture supposedly will be delivered this week.
Very cool. And I guess I'm going to be delivered a camera this week too.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Damn. Exciting stuff, man.
Lots of fun stuff going down. Tony, give everybody a little time code. Let everybody know where we are.
I think I'm a little bit ahead of you right now. Let's go to this. Track this.
I'm behind. I need you to tell me where we are.
36 even. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. They are in Sandman's dressing room. 09, 010.
Hey, hurry up.
Track it.
He's like, crap. Hey, you still got the door?
I got the door.
Look, be seeing me. How about it?
What the hell do you think you're doing? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Someone spiked the trick, man.
Spiked in my eye.
I know.
Get the hell out of my room. Oh, no. Get out of here. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here.
So we're all even now. I'm at 136, 36, 37, 38, 39. Hope you guys are still with us. Really excited about, what we're doing next week, because we're talking about Flair and George South. But first, we should mention that, next up is F.B.I. defending their tag titles against Tajiri and Whipwreck. I think this is where we're going to see maybe some announcement about what happened with, let's track it here.
Still to come, a matchup for the ECW World Tag Team title belts. The defending champions, the FBI, the full-blooded Italians, the tandem of Tony Mamaluke and Guido Maritano, of course, with the 6'8", 600-pound Big Sally Graziano in their corner.
We've been told now that apparently the FBI tried to disfigure the Sinister Minister. Here are the ECW World Tag.
Wow. They just said, we've been told they tried to disfigure the Sinister Minister, but they didn't say they cut his finger off. Where did that come from? Was that somewhere in here and we missed it? There's Matt Coon, as you see, coming to the ring, teaching some kids how to lip sync. By the way, I need those ECW tag belts. One of them's in the hands of a private collector who thinks it's worth car money, and it is not. It's a tag belt. And the other belongs to Danny Doring, friend of the show, who apparently has no interest in selling it.
No interest in selling it. That's kind of like me with baseball pictures, baseball cards. I probably have a lot of money in baseball cards.
Have you sent them off to get rated?
Huh?
Have you sent them off to get rated?
No, I'm not. But I was told that I probably did, because baseball cards are starting to increase in value now. And I just have no desire to do that. I want to keep them. I can't tell you why. I have no idea why.
No, I'm just saying you should just grade them just so you got them. So when you
you can grade them. You can grade them online if you pay Beckett enough to grade them online.
I just think it would be cool if you had your cards graded and in those cool cases and you were ready to go and you had some cool displays set up. And then, when you kick the bucket before the sun sets, Chris Schiavone will have them all up on eBay.
Yeah, he will.
Tony Schiavone, RIP, Jim Mint 10.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I was in a corner of the garage, which, by the way, it's been cleaned out. It's very nice now, comparatively. Cool. There's a box, and he opened that box the other day, and he says, "Hey, what's this?" I said, "It's stuff I'm collecting for Conrad." He said, "You sure I can't sell on eBay?" I said, "No, it's Conrad stuff." He went, "Shit." Closed the box up and walked away.
Well, thank you, sir. That was mighty nice of you. I'm glad too, because I just bought that Tony Schiavone shoot DVD from RF Video on eBay. Hoping I can watch that later and really get to the bottom of your story in wrestling. My favorite thing, I can't believe this is real. There is a signed can of soda. It is an A-Treat can of soda. It says treat up on the can. And here's the description. If you have that special wrestling fan in your life, or you just want to treat yourself to something amazing, here's your chance. You are about to purchase this amazing vintage, one of a kind A-Treat soda can signed by one of the greatest wrestling personalities in the history of professional wrestling, Tony Schiavone. Here's the story. Tony Schiavone grew up in the Italian town of Roseto, PA, a few miles from here in Allentown. Like all of us that grew up in this area, we grew up on A-Treat soda. A few years ago, A-Treat went out of business and Tony was missing the delicious beverage we'd all grown to love. Along with my buddy, Chris Culp, Culpy, we tracked down a 6-pack and gave it to him. Our end of the deal was that he would sign one can to put into the museum. Sort of an oddball thing to do, but if you know me, well, let's just leave it at that. This is the very same item that hung in the Pro Wrestling World Museum for the last 10 years. Thank you for joining me in my 30-year wrestling journey. This item comes with a COA from Pro Wrestling World and Carson Sports in Allentown, PA, and it comes with a bonus while supplies last and free shipping. Please use the magnifying glass to seek out any imperfections. Thank you and God bless. And ladies and gentlemen, this item is available right now with free shipping for just $50. And don't forget, when you get it, it's filled with NutraSweet brand sweetener.
I've got a couple of those in my fridge. I did not grow up in Rosetta, Pennsylvania. I grew up in Virginia, but my dad grew up in Rosetta, Pennsylvania, and it's an Italian village. If you know anything about healthcare, you can look up the Rosetta effect and read all about that.
I loved Mrs. Stone from there.
I'm sorry, what?
Rosetta Stone. Me and her go way back.
Yeah, you're full of shit. So anyway, and he's right. A-Treat soda was my favorite soda growing up because I just loved it every time we go to Pennsylvania. It was great. And it was a local bottler soda company in Allentown that I guess went out of business. I think somebody bought it. And, but anyway, there you go. One of the oddball things on eBay from me. And obviously that's been on the market for quite a while because it's been quite a while since I did that. Years. Does it say how long it's been on the market?
No, but I bet it sells now.
Probably so.
I just looked up Bruce Pritchard on eBay.
Really? Are you that bored in this show to do that?
There's 8x10s in here.
Yeah.
Even since he's been back, there's a 16x20 poster of Something to Wrestle that I'm on too.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my, studio right here. Him holding an award. I can't believe this is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Starcast on here. There's a VIP land. There's a man, we got a lot of shit on here.
There was a shitty spot in the middle of all that, but they battled through it.
Oops. Can I just tell you that I'm not in. Oh, there's Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah. He's just shaking his collar.
He didn't believe in what all he's seeing either. And then he blew his goddamn thing off, Conrad. It's the damnedest thing I ever seen.
You know, my plumber works hard too.
He had nerve damage. So you hate the idea of pushing someone because they work hard?
Nope, I don't. You're putting words in my mouth, as you have been known to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, set the record straight.
Just giving you what Kevin Sullivan said about people who work hard. Hey, Kevin, these kids really worked hard. Yeah, my plumber does too. Okay. Thanks.
I love Tajiri.
Oh, it was tremendous. And I think you mentioned I'd asked you this question on an earlier episode that you mentioned he's still working, right?
Yeah. So let's, I guess we should go ahead and do it. I know that we're going to get a little bit of hate, but what?
Why would you preface this by saying we're going to get a little bit of hate? We don't need hate.
Well, but
there's enough hate in the world this week to go around.
Allegedly, it's Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega in the tournament finale this weekend at Full Gear. The winner gets a title shot.
Sure.
Cody is going to defend his TNT championship with Arn Anderson in his corner against Darby Allin.
Okay.
FTR are going to defend their tag titles against the Young Bucks. And if the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for the AEW tag titles ever again.
I know. Yeah.
There's an I Quit match between Jon Moxley defending against his old pal, now sworn enemy, Eddie Kingston, the face that runs the place. Matt Hardy is going to have an elite deletion match against Sammy Guevara. This is the feud that never ends.
Okay.
We've also got Sheeta defending her title against Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero in her corner.
Right.
How about a singles match with Chris Jericho taking on MJF? And if MJF wins, he's allowed to join the Inner Circle. And I believe there is a pre-show match with the star of BTE, the guy who has stolen more scenes this year than anybody, John Silver, taking on last year's viral sensation and the ratings draw of 2020, Mr. Orange Cassidy. A lot going on this Saturday in Jacksonville at Daly's Place. And of course, be sure to look for that helicopter because I'm going to negotiate that so Tony doesn't have to travel from the football game to there and he can make it in time and be at the broadcast at his desk, ready to remind Jim Ross that Ricky Skaggs is not in the building.
Sounds like a pretty good card to me.
Dude, it's a good pay-per-view card. And I said I wanted to promote it, but we get some heat and you said, don't do it. So I just want everyone to know, go ahead and send, if you want to, send Tony Khan a tweet and let him know that Conrad tried to plug the pay-per-view and Tony told him not to.
No, that again, you said you were going to get us some heat. Let me ask you this, as you, again, attempt to, as you always do each and every week on this show to get me fired.
Oh, wait a minute. I campaigned and worked hard to get you hired. Why would I want to get you fired?
That's a question I ask myself all the time.
That's a good call.
So we actually get the heat for promoting AEW on this show.
Well, yeah, just in the comments, no. All the guys who listen, they like it, you know?
Okay.
And I'm sure TK likes the free promotion and I'm sure Cody likes when we talk glowingly, blah, blah, blah. But occasionally I see the comments on social media and Lord, I try not to do that. I've tried to tell you, look, but whenever we promote anything AEW, oh, this was a good show before Tony went back and started sucking AEW's dick. It sucks now. Why don't they just talk about shit like ECW? Cause it's 3 hours of ECW in 2000. That's why.
These people who say that shit are worthless.
So let me go ahead and tell you what happened here. At one point they sandwiched Guido's head between chairs and did each guy sliding into it. Whipwreck was taken out when he executed whippersnappers on both FBI guys at the same time off the middle ropes and then started selling his shoulder big. To buy some time, Sally went for a splash and ended up killing Mama Luke, who somehow survived the blow. The match stopped while Whipwreck was stretchered out. It was really sad on two levels. First, it came off as if they were playing off Paul Orndorff. Whether that was the direct intent or not isn't the case, as I'm guessing since Whipwreck has a legit shoulder injury going in, it was just coincidental. Since Orndorff ended up okay, it was much better than WCW playing off of Owen Hart in Kansas City with Canyon, but that's faint praise. Second, nobody, and I mean nobody in the crowd bought it and in fact were chanting for the crazy run-in. Again, I felt sorry for the credibility of Joey Styles, first talking about how he didn't want to speculate on Whipwreck's condition out of fairness to his wife that was watching, and then having his concern exposed by a crowd that never bought it, and by the immediate run in from Crazy establishing it was in fact an angle. Crazy finally arrived to a huge pop at 8 minutes, doing his bottom, middle, and top rope moonsault spot, and landed with his knees on Mama Luke's face. So pretty tough deal here, but it's rare that you see somebody stretch it out in the middle. So a lot of people, I could see how they would believe it, but they know they haven't seen Super Crazy yet, and he's part of this, and they're ready for him. And here he is.
Yeah. You know, I may get some heat about, holy shit. I may get some heat about this, but the Chris Canyon falling off the top.
Yeah.
To me, I did not correlate that with Owen Hart.
Well, here's the thing. You're not going to get heat for that because you weren't in the building when he died, but everybody in the crowd was. You did it in the same building a year later.
I know. What I'm saying is that during the day, and when we even we all went out there and knew that was happening, it didn't hit me at that time.
Because you weren't in the crowd when he died.
Yeah, but I knew it had happened, right? And I thought I think I would have gone, we can't do this. This is the same place where Owen died. I don't know why
well, because here's another reason why. You were all out of fucks to give by that point. That was 2000. WCW in 2000 was just fucking whatever. And so was ECW. Listen, I love ECW, and everybody listening to this knows I love ECW. But goddamn, I'd be okay if the year 2000 never existed for ECW. It was just not good. I tried. I really did. And there were some bright spots. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, for the most part, it didn't feel like the same company. And I can say the same thing about WCW. Everything that was so exciting about Nitro was seemingly gone by 2000.
Yeah.
And at that point, everybody, even the lead announcer, was just going through the motions because there wasn't anything to get excited about. And maybe that's lack of leadership. Maybe it's just timing. Maybe it's just, and I know some people listening to this struggle with this. Maybe it's time for some things to end. There's that old cliche where all good things come to an end. And I hate to be all fucking sappy, but like, I look back at great relationships I had in my past, whether it was personal or business or romantic or whatever. I just try not to think about the bad times. I just remember the good times. And I think that's true even for you, Tony, even though you do remember a lot of the silly shit from WCW, a lot of the bad stuff, you just sort of purge from your mind, right?
Oh yeah. And I attempted to purge it from my mind. And one of the reasons I never looked back. In other words,
it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah. When my career in WCW was over, it was it. I moved forward. I got out of wrestling. I moved forward. Now that I'm out of baseball, I don't look back. I move forward. Now, my first year without baseball, coincidentally, was the year of COVID, where baseball had changed and there was no minor league baseball. But I have no interest in baseball right now. Why? That's part of my past. I had more good moments in baseball than I had bad, and I just want to move forward. I had really bad moments at the end of wrestling, but I had a lot of great moments too. But I want to move forward. When my time in AEW has come to an end, wherever that may be, and I hope it's not for a long, long, long time, I will put it in the rearview mirror and I will move forward. I'm not going to do Georgia basketball this year. I'm not going to give a flying flip about Georgia basketball this year. I won't follow it. I'll just move forward. So that's the way it is. But yeah, I get what you're saying, that, you just try to purge the bad thoughts from your mind. You do a pretty good job of it. Like they say, when you have a bad wreck and you have amnesia, right? I don't know if you heard them talk about that or not. People talk about that, but
I think that's a good analogy. A little Amnesia Jones.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of us had checked out because, you know what I remember about the final year of WCW? I remember all the turmoil backstage. I remember all the bad feelings. That's what I remember more than anything else. Boy, little Mama Luke could work quite well, couldn't he?
Man, he was a hell of a performer. He did it all for WWE too. And Had a longer run there than I would have imagined, but I really liked, Mama Luke and Little Guido, both pretty talented guys.
Yeah. I heard Little Guido did an interview with him about Tracy Smothers on Busted Open. Heard part of that. And he talked about how Tracy Smothers led by example without having to. Without trying to. He was a great example for him. And that reminds me that, again, Dave LaGreca, when I talked to him recently, just did nothing but shit on you.
Well, Dave LaGreca is a nothing happening son of a bitch.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry I peeled back the layer of that onion.
No, I'm sure you like him. I know JR likes him. I'm sure a lot of people think he's a great guy, but I know him to be a no good, two-faced, dishonest. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's a scam. Fire me. I'm already fired. Fire me. I'm already fired.
He said you were a bad person. And I said, I don't know that about Conrad. He's not a bad, well, anyway, I'm sorry to bring that up because we're actually, with Super Crazy came in, things got super crazy. And now look at that. Holy shit, into the audience.
That's how you want, Reba to throw Britt Baker at you, right?
Wouldn't be a bad idea because as we know, I have a very soft spot in my soft spot in my heart for Britt Baker.
Oh, I got a great game. Not going to say the name of the game, but I'm just going to say the three contestants are Reba, Britt Baker, and Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. I don't know what game you're talking about. What's the fans looking at here now?
They're looking to see how far you're going to have to go to dodge answering this. Just tell me this.
Listen, you're talking about three of my favorite females in wrestling.
All right. So here's the thing. I won't make you give me all three answers, but you're going to have to answer for one. Okay. And you get to pick the name or the thing, but you know what they are. And you just tell me which one you want to do what with, and we'll leave the other two to your imagination.
Okay.
Big moonsault off the top. Super crazy.
Thank God for that moonsault, man. I'm surprised that New Jack didn't do it.
Crazy finally arrived to a huge pop. Match fell apart at this point and had no heat. Crazy did a spectacular moonsault block off a 15-foot high balcony, although the cameras missed everything but the dive, which was apparently caught by Sally in the ring. Tajiri put the tarantula on Mama Luke, but Guido broke it up and bulldogged him for the pin, which nobody expected. 2 3/4 stars. And there it is. FBI steal the victory. People really wanted Tajiri and Super Crazy, but not on this night. Now, what do you really want? You got to pick one lady and one word. You don't have to say anything about the other two ladies, the other two words.
Mary Thunder Rosa.
I knew that was the answer. How did I know that was the answer?
You didn't know.
I did, because the other two are in committed relationships and you weren't going to say anything. Not in this theater of the mind.
Okay. So let me.
All right. Then just explain
right there. Okay. I got that marked down. Thank you very much.
I love you.
Just for some reason, my mouth creates more work for myself sometimes.
By the way, did you know that Thunder Rosa is actually a band that's been touring for 23 years?
Really?
Yeah. They do rock and Southern rock. And
well, let's hear it for wrestling to really get their name out there. Cause I ain't never heard of them.
You have to get hot about it.
They were super crazy coming in the ring, double-footed drop kick, or I guess you call that a shotgun drop kick, maybe.
By the way, coming up next, we got Steve Corino in there with Jerry Lynn, Just Incredible, and the Sandman. And Meltzer would write, it was supposed to start as a singles match with Sandman versus Corino and Lynn versus Credible. But Sandman wasn't there as they started the match. Fans start chanting for Van Dam to be the fourth man instead of Sandman. Sandman's music plays 3 minutes in, and it kills everything they're doing in the ring, and nobody was watching. 4 minutes later, Sandman gets in the match and starts caning motherfuckers. That's directly from the Observer.
No. Really?
No.
He said caning motherfuckers.
I slipped it in so naturally, though. You were like, well, Dave was really letting it loose in 2000.
Yes, he was.
Oh, here we go. Track it.
If you go to the ECWWrestling.com website right now, you could see me doing some not so squeaky clean things in the shower. Remember, squeaky and clean, right, Blue Boy?
And don't forget, boys, the clean and jerk. Remember, squeaky, clean.
That's right, squeaky and clean, completely G-rated.
Totally T-rated.
Let's go.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Shoo-shoo. Back to work.
Right, that's for the website. Go. Goodbye.
How about the Blue Meanie making out with porn stars in the shower?
Blue Meanie had a life, didn't he?
He's had a good time in his life.
Yes, he has.
Meltzer, by the way, wrote of the show. The show itself was what you expect from ECW. A lot of wrestlers working really hard to impress. This was bloodier than usual, but slightly below the standards of the usual ECW pay-per-view show, since it lacked the one blow-away match. Van Dam was in Thailand filming a martial arts movie, which was never acknowledged on the show, which took the group's one superstar out of the mix. Jerry Lynn and Just Incredible, who usually anchor the top of the card with strong matches, were put in the main event, which went too long with the crowd already burned out from so much undercard blood, and their work, blood, and sweat was totally devalued by the idea of making the Sandman's ring entrance take up 4 minutes while they were trying to work a semblance of a match with the idea something important, even if it was the right to sleep with Francine, was at stake. To their credit, Credible and Corino worked in the last few minutes down to the 2 singles matches at the same time, which turned into just another 4-way. Was down to those 2, was very strong, and the finish was really well done. The announced lineup was changed on the fly, although it probably helped the show in the end. He also says the real question of this show is economics. ECW is going monthly now. That's running twice as often at a time when the business is cycling downward, at a time when the company has far less TV exposure. I think everyone agrees it will be better for the business as a whole to have fewer pay-per-view events, but it's going to be next to impossible to get individual companies to make the decision to cut back, because it's at a risk that running fewer shows won't increase the buy rates and profit for each show. And that even though long-term it may hurt the overall business from too much paid product, nobody wants to take the step that could hurt short-term in a business where nobody can predict the long-term anyway. The combination of the TNN show and hardcore TV was doing less than a 1.0 cum rating for the syndicated package. Take out the 0.64 average TNN was doing, and you can see the audience syndication delivers. But ECW is a cult niche deal that survived on a very small audience from day one, relatively speaking, that was very loyal. It can maintain their buy rates on pay-per-view, which is still believed to be profitable. This move will be a success. If doing twice as many shows with less exposure results in a decline in buys to where pay-per-view profits are cut down, the long-term picture is even more cloudy. It probably does necessitate more title switches and more gimmicks because of running monthly big shows with a thin roster. So it's bad times here. We're circling the drain here in ECW. We don't have that many more shows before we're done. Oh, there's Francine, and I'm surprised you can even muster sounds up. I know how much you enjoy her work and how much you enjoy taking a look at her. It was kind of shocking that you weren't talking to her on Zoom yesterday when everybody else at adfreeshows.com was.
What? She did a tremendous promo with that kendo stick at the beginning.
I got to tell you, imagine being me. All right. Okay. So you're 15, you're 16, you're 17, you're 18, you're 19, and you can watch ECW and watch this. Or we can watch VK Wall Street wrestle Hacksaw Jim Duggan with y'all. I'm going with this, Bubba.
Yeah. I would have too at that age.
You had to grow into VK Wall Street and Duggan.
Yeah.
You had to retire that Peter, tuck it away once he's all dried up, wrung out, shriveled up Jones.
Yeah. Little red wiggler.
What's the worst part of getting old, Tony?
Not giving a shit.
That's the worst part?
Yeah. I wish I had the passion I used to have.
I thought that'd be the best part.
Yeah. There's good and bad parts about it. Okay. The worst part of getting old?
Yep. Ready.
Having to hang around with good looking women for your job.
Well, I hope you're listening, Rebel. Don't hang out with Tony Schiavone anymore. I know you don't want to hang out with Taz. Just go hang out with JR. It'll probably be okay.
Jerry Lynn. It's amazing. He started out, man, he dropped the GD word, goddamn. And in reality, one of the nicest men ever.
Big time.
Who probably wouldn't even use that word today. Just
I like that he had his son's name written on his tape too. Colby. I think that would be fun. You know what? We might actually, Ryan, I know you're listening to this, Silva, between the two of y'all come up with Tony Schiavone making a fist. And let's wrap that fist in tape and let's write bug on it. You can use that for show art or a t-shirt.
Oh, that reminds me of something.
That you've decided that Bug should forfeit his make-believe paper champion status as the official dog of What Happened When, and go ahead.
Don't even start, because I'll fight you for that fucker.
But we know it's Ginger. Ginger's the official dog of What Happened When.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Anyway, I want to say something kind of serious here.
Oh, okay. Can we do it after she gets in the ring?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I'm ready.
Okay. So we have on Box of Gimmicks come up with a Craigsville t-shirt.
Oh yeah. This is a great thing.
Yeah. And which, we're donating 100% of the proceeds to the town of Craigsville. And I think you have to, go to boxofgimmicks.com. I don't know if you can find, I'm sure you can find it on the regular Box of Gimmicks. Everybody has their own part of Box of Gimmicks, WHW. But if you go to that website and look for Craigsville t-shirt, it talks about Craigsville being the legend of Augusta County. We're giving 100% of the proceeds to the town. And that's the town I grew up in. And that's a town that has been tucked away in the mountains, kind of struggled. They have a town council that most towns don't. There you go, Francine. They try to do their best. A friend of mine is the mayor of the town, and I'm trying to help the town. So there you go. Help out the town of Craigsville, where I grew up, where I spent 22 years of my life. First 22, same house. Not many people can say that. And if you think about that, I moved out of the house in Craigsville when I graduated from college, got married, and moved around a lot. And now I've lived in this house in Atlanta for 30 years. So 52 years of my 60, soon to be 63 years, I basically live in the same place. Not many people can say that. Because people move. Are you bored by this?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. Because people move around a lot. And when I tell people, yeah, we lived in this house 30 years ago. Wow, that's great. People move in and out of houses, and as you know, being in the industry, people will buy houses for investments and then move on, or people will get transferred and move on. And in 2001, in March 2001, there was a question of whether Tony Schiavone could still even keep this house. If I can talk about myself in the third person,
please do. We like it when you do it.
And then, of course, I started working with WSB and the Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs. And then at the end of 2015, there was a very big question whether I would be able to keep this house, and even had a meeting with the family. And then 2017, Conrad Thompson came into my life. And then, of course, Tony Khan would come into my life, and my fortunes have changed a great deal. But anyway, so I was very proud to stay in a house for that long. So that's just me rambling. Here the match is underway, and the Sandman has not arrived as of yet.
By the way, I just discovered how many freaking hoodies we have over at boxofgimmicks.com. I'm outfitting my whole wardrobe for the winter. Pretty excited about it.
There you go. I think I'll order a hoodie too, because I just think I will. And a pat on the back, attaboy to Ryan Duff and to Dave Silver, all the work they've done on all this, on our graphics and our shirts and all that stuff, and our friends at Pro Wrestling Tees as well.
We got some good folks doing stuff with us. Got
a great staff. And you know what? I've always said this, and this I think is where I think is where wrestling failed on many levels in the past. They just didn't have good people working for them. We do an AEW now, and we really do here with the ad-free shows and CTE. We got good people. And when you have good people, you have people who work hard, who are determined, and all pull the same direction and love what they're doing and have a good time. And that's important to a company. You know that. Hell, you know that in your mortgage business.
By the way, I want to shout out everybody who has entrusted us this year. This has been our busiest year ever on the mortgage side over at savewithconrad.com. And we've helped families in nearly all 50 states this year. So a lot of you guys heard about us from the podcast here, and we greatly appreciate all of your support. And if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Send me an email, Conrad@savewithconrad.com, or get yourself a quick quote there at savewithconrad.com, because this is the time of year, Tony, where a lot of folks start thinking about the holidays, and that can be extra stressful this year, maybe more than ever. So
sure,
if we can help, we'd be glad to, but we've had our busiest year ever. And it's because the rates have been so freaking ridiculously low that a lot of folks I talked to somebody the other day we helped on the podcast who saved more than $200,000. And that sounds make believe, but the math is real, man. And it's been a once in a lifetime opportunity, and we've made the most of it with a lot of folks.
Good stuff. It's amazing what a great year it's been. And I say this, when I call people who hook into our Patreon, WHW Monday Patreon channel, I call you and I tell everyone that I ask them how they're doing, and they ask me, and I tell them that sometimes I feel guilty that 2020 has been the best year of my life financially because of you and AEW. And I feel guilty about that, but this has been a great year, and hopefully that, we can, make it through this week. And if we do, maybe better things are ahead. I don't know.
We're going to make it through this week, you negative sumbitch.
I don't know about that.
Look at all the nonsense we've been through in this country. And you think we can't get through this horse shit? Let's endeavor to do better. We'll be fine.
And I agree. And here's Sandman's entrance that completely took away from the match.
Yeah. In hindsight, maybe not the best call.
No, it's not. Because the music, which obviously they can't play here on the network, which the music and getting the beer, that's all people want.
But here's the thing. They could have never predicted, oh, well, one day we'll have to actually pay for rights for this stuff and there'll be a network where people can watch it anytime they want, blah, blah, blah. Like that never happened. Nobody ever thought that way,
Oh, I know. Obviously Jamie Kellner never did because he was a fucking idiot.
Hey, it's out there now. We can talk about it. What do you think about me landing the Jim Herd interview?
Amazing.
Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
When we get off the air, I'll tell you the other ones I got lined up. I may have told you one or two, but I got one or two new ones since we talked last.
Okay.
And let me just say this. It's going to be fun.
Can I also bring this up?
Please do.
If not, I can edit it out. Are you expanding your podcast world?
We are.
Have you announced anything yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Later this month, though, you will hear about two new podcasts. And of course, earlier this week, people over at adfreeshows.com, they've already done a Mailback Monday. We're alternating those with Mike Chioda one week, Gerald Briscoe the next. They've also seen video from Dr. Tom breaking down why some of your favorite matches were your favorite matches. Coming up next week, we're doing StarCast All Access, a behind the scenes look at how we put together some of the biggest wrestling conventions ever. And then we're going to show the panels for free over at adfreeshows.com. And we've got some fun little giveaways over there, contests every single day. There's even a cooking show coming out pretty soon here, Tony, that Jim Ross and myself, and of course, Eric Bischoff are going to be involved in. I'd like to get some footage of you for the cooking show, but all I know you cook up is a bunch of bullshit. But do you think we could get Lois getting them donkey dicks ready for everybody?
Probably not.
Dude, what's it going to take for us to enjoy some donkey dicks with Lois?
She's not going to do that.
I'd really like to.
She made a mistake in her mind of getting on camera on one of our Patreon Zoom chats.
She thought that was a mistake?
Well, yeah, because someone said, of which we really enjoyed, Lois has, I ain't gonna lie, Lois has some big ass titties, and she has never lived that down. Never in this household.
Wait, hang on. So help me understand what the issue is. You're just teasing her, saying you have big breasts?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to live that down? You should celebrate that.
Well, that's that in most people's mindset. Yes, but that's not how she thinks. And
can you imagine for a minute? Let's flip the script. What if you accidentally walk by naked? Just pretend you accidentally walked by naked, and the comments underneath were, "God damn, look at the hog on Tony."
Yeah.
Would you be embarrassed when somebody brought it up?
No.
Look at Tony and his big old dick on here talking about AEW. No, you wouldn't be mad. You'd be like, you're damn right.
Yeah.
If you had a fair sized hog, would you have nicknamed it, you think?
No.
You wouldn't have.
No, we got,
I feel like you would have called it like Action Bronson. Action Jackson.
They, look at the blood on the chest of Just Incredible.
Everybody's bleeding a gusher, Bubba. It's EC Dub.
Good God. He is like, and look at, Jesus.
Jerry Lynn likes it blue.
That couldn't have felt good on either guy. Sandman, he didn't. Sandman had to just stretch something there. Credible is like Good God, it's like a volcano just down his forehead. I don't know if he cut his, what the? Francine working hard on the outside. Had a girl.
I mean, they're letting them fly, son.
Yeah, this is kind of like Cody and Dustin.
Yeah, they're laying it in.
Yeah. This was in Chicago, right?
Yep, at the Odeum.
The Odeum.
Yep.
So yeah, why not put a chair in there? I'm sorry, a ladder.
Ooh.
They fucking ladders. Jesus. Ladders scare the hell out of me in a wrestling match. That cannot feel good. There's no, I mean, it's like, I know they're aluminum, so I know they're light to move around, but when you hit them, there's this kind of an edge to aluminum, you know? Look how fucking it fell on his head. There's an edge to it. There's just like a sharpness to it.
It's bad when it follows you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now the fans are like, they popped their wad for Sandman's entrance. That was it. Now we've watched Jerry Lynn win the world championship. That happened in Minnesota. We've had it on one of the.
Yep.
It's in the archives.
Go check it out.
Yeah. I talked to him about that and he was telling me how big a moment that was for him, and I get it, man. I think it was a good move giving him the title. And Kevin Sullivan's returned to my broadcast studio.
By the way, as you see, Sandman setting the ladder here on Corino, getting ready to do his thing. Meltzer would write, Lynn and Sandman each interfered. No, hang on, let me back that up. The first two matches ended with a double pin at the same moment, which came off totally contrived. As Credible hit his tombstone on Lynn and Corino hit his neck breaker on Sandman at 16:21. Fans hated this. Maybe because it was two heels left, although Corino at that point wasn't a clear heel, and the crowd took him still as a face against Credible. Lynn and Sandman each interfered once down the stretch. It turned into a big time chop fest with Corino and Credible, which got the crowd finally into the match. Corino hit Francine with a super kick, and then Corino hit the expulsion, but Credible kicked out. Credible used Corino's super kick right on the money for a near fall. Corino hit the expulsion again, but Don Marie came back and gave both Corino and Jack Victory low blows. The one to Victory looked so lame, as he's 3 times her size and he just stood there forever waiting for it. Credible nailed Corino with 3 cane shots, and by this time Corino was bleeding everywhere before Corino hit a desperation super kick for the pin. Lynn presented Corino the belt after, but then slapped him. After the show went off the air, Corino was surprised by his mother being brought to ringside after the show went off air. 2.5 stars. Big moment for our old pal Steve Corino.
Yeah. I have texted Steve Corino now and then. I shouldn't really talk about that because I know he works for the other side, but don't mean we can't still be friends, right?
Correct.
I mean, I still consider myself a friend of Bruce's, although I'm sure Bruce doesn't like me.
No, he hates you.
Yeah.
By the way, it's a big moment for Steve Corino, his first world title win here that we're about to see.
Right.
It's kind of cool that his mom's there to celebrate too. And he dedicated the match to his son, Colby, as you can tell from the tape on his wrist there.
Man, look at the blood. Look at the blood. Look at the blood. Me and my cousin Butchie used to go to wrestling matches and say, blood. We're seeing blood. We loved it. It was really the reason we went to see blood, because you didn't see it on TV, right? You only saw it in the arena shows.
Can you imagine just for a minute? I don't mean to be weird here, but let's just think about this for a minute. How tough it had to be a woman in ECW. You're traveling with a bunch of rough and rowdy young guys. Right. You've got even rougher fans who are chanting, you're a crack whore and you suck dick and you're a slut and all this. They expect you to dress very scantily. You basically near nude. And they're going to run around here on concrete with sweat and beer and blood and high heels, wearing a see-through little onesie thing, a thong, and a barely there top with your makeup like you like it. Mm-hmm. This could not have been an easy job.
No.
And oh, by the way, as if that's not enough, occasionally we're going to give you a pile driver or kick you in the fucking face.
Like we're getting ready to see right now.
I'm just saying, like, and I never really thought about it from a woman's perspective, but this had to be tough mentally, physically, emotionally. And then occasionally you got guys you've never met, you know, writing unkind things about you in newsletters. It's just, God damn, it had to be hard. It's not like, by the way, any of these ladies are making so much money they never have to work again. It's not like one of those deals where it's like, well, okay, this sucks and it's less than ideal, but I'll go do it one time and then I go pay my house off. No, they're just making a living, and probably a good one, but you know what I mean? Just
sure.
Not lottery money. I don't know.
Yeah. I listen, I get it. I understand completely what you're saying. Pretty stiff.
Cause think about it from the other side. Like, what if we were like, okay, Steve, here's what we want you to do. Put on this dress and these high heels and make sure you shave your butt real good, cause we're going to zoom in as you lean through the ropes.
Yeah.
Here's the double spot here.
Incredible simultaneously.
Jerry Lynn and the Sandman have been eliminated. The match continues. Just Incredible versus Steve Corino.
So at this point, one thing we do know is that there will be a new ECW World Heavyweight Champion.
So as a reminder, they did this just over a year prior to this. It was supposed to be Taz versus Masato Tanaka. And it just so happens that Mike Awesome and Jeff Jones were ringside. They invite him in. It becomes a three-way dance. And very quickly, 1, 2, 3, Taz is pinned and Taz was champ. So Taz is done with the promotion now, but more importantly, he just dropped the belt, but to who? Whoever wins the next fall is your new world champion. And that's essentially what they've started to look for doing here, where we're definitely going to have a new champion now, because Jerry Lynn, who was the champ as he came into this, he's been eliminated. So it won't be Sandman, who's a multiple time champion at this point. I think at this point he's held the belt 4 times. But Jerry Lynn, who had only held it 1 time and in fact, just for 35 days, he's now dropped it. He's no longer champ. And now it's Steve Corino's time. And we know that Corino's going to hold it like 60 days or so before he drops it back to Sandman. But still, we got a new world champ tonight. And that's kind of a cool way to finish a show.
Oh yeah, it is. Absolutely. Everybody loves to see a change of a championship. You feel like you've been a part of some sort of history, which you have. So that is a great way to end the show. I was kind of surprised. I don't know if he's still there. I saw Sandman pounding on the mat as if he was just, there he is. See him at the bottom of the screen. Isn't that kind of odd? He just was eliminated.
Well, he's going to interfere. Both him and Jerry Lynn are going to interfere.
Okay. But it's almost like he's cheering them on. And I understand that, but I don't know.
Well, in kayfabe, he's probably wanting this guy to win or that guy to win because he wants to beat him up.
Yeah. There's Jerry Lynn, man. Right. They're out. They're both out, but he's fucking Corino.
Look at Corino pouring the blood.
Jesus. Now, that's not the first time we've seen him pour the blood either.
Corino looks like he's ready to be on the cover of an After mag.
Back in November, I think we mentioned this already. Bill Apter celebrated his 110th birthday.
Congratulations, Billy.
Congratulations, Bill. Doesn't look a day over 109. If you take a good look at it.
Real quick, let me run down what all we got coming up here on that. By the way, you get all these shows early and ad free over at adfreeshows.com. And of course, patreon.com/WHW Monday. But we've got, November 12th, 1988, which was Ric Flair and George South coming up here next week. The following week, we'll go back even further. On November 18th, we're going to watch the November 16th Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling episode, which is the infamous Hard Times promo.
Oh man.
And then Starrcade 85 is what we're going to bring you the week of Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving tradition here on the show. Starrcade 85. This one is The Gathering, Flair and Dusty. So lots of old school coming your way in the month of November because, well, Novembers are meant for it. And we'll keep the streak alive. On December 2nd, we revisit December 3rd, 88. This is World Championship Wrestling when the Road Warriors would spike Dusty in the eye.
Ooh.
On December 9th, we're going to watch the Nitro from December 8th, 1997. That's where Sting propels down not only into the ring, but through the ring. Of course, it's really a Sting dummy. And then on December 16th, we're going to watch the November 21st, 1998 Nitro, which is the go home Nitro for Starrcade 98. On December 23rd, just a couple of days before Christmas, we'll watch Starrcade 1998, where they killed the Golden Goose and the streak was over. And then on December 30th, we'll watch where Goldberg did it to himself, which was the December 23rd, 1999 Thunder, where he punched a limo and nearly died. And of course, our bonus episodes coming up on adfreeshows.com are the Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view, which we've talked about a lot today. That'll be later this month on adfreeshows.com. And next month, we're at least going to watch the first half or the first several whatevers from the WCW All-Nighter from 1995, which we've been asked about since the very beginning of us doing this podcast. And I can't believe it. The WWE Network has it now. Quite the event. There's no way we're going to watch, all 5 or 8 hours or whatever it is, but, the opening monologues and the hijinks that you guys are having as a broadcast crew, that makes it worth revisiting. Looking forward to that.
Some good stuff. So we help you go through your childhood and relive your past and bring back the nostalgia that was wrestling in the past. And hey, it's because Conrad and I are still fans just like you. And I get so many comments about how you and I on What Happened When make people laugh and brighten their day. And that means everything. People who have had bad things happen. Oh, here we go. Do I really want to see this? Yeah. Little glancing blow. That wasn't much.
Wasn't that bad.
No, but how we have people brighten their days when they've had bad things happen, or just brighten their day just because they need their day brightened up. And we appreciate that. Really do.
I mean, look right now, she's got her cheeks hanging out, man.
I'm looking.
I'm just saying this couldn't have been an easy gig for a lady.
No.
Let me turn these goddamn closed captions off. They're really messing with me. Can't see shit.
Yeah. I'll do the same thing. I got to do it quickly. Okay.
Me and you are two peas in the same nasty pod.
Yes, we are.
Oh man. Nice little super kick there.
Yes, it was.
I don't know if you've counted the number of super kicks here, but it's starting to feel almost like there's a bit of a party going on.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, Jim Molyneux, keep that thumb out of there. Don't you check her oil.
It's kind of hard to concentrate on the match with her rear end right up in the air like that.
There's a match.
There you go. And I hate to say that, but it is. It's just, and I think the director realized that, well, maybe he doesn't. Dawn Marie.
All right. So there's the first one. Dawn Marie nails nails Corino. And now this one's supposed to be kind of pathetic looking. Said he had to wait forever to get it. That wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Francine
still
just
face down, ass up.
Boy, did she ever.
Is this your favorite ECW pay-per-view ever right now?
It's my favorite ECW match ever. And I've seen some great ones. I'm sorry, Taz.
Dude, how many times is he going to hit him full blast in the head? Oh, there it is. There it is. So there you go. Big celebration. Steve Corino wins his first world title. Of course, that won't be the last. He's going to become NWA champion, a bunch of other accolades along the way. But even though this is the dying days of ECW, it was a big deal to be the number 3 man in American wrestling. And that is officially who he is now, that he's got the ECW world title. Of course, back then, after mags were still a thing, and you could go to the back and flip through those top 10s, and right at the top, there he is. Steve Corino, number 1 guy now in ECW. In hindsight, it probably would have been a totally different show with Rob Van Dam here, their biggest guy, but they had done everything they could to make credible, to make Jerry Lynn. And now they've effectively made Steve Corino, and look at the audience here, really appreciating the respect from Jerry Lynn to hand the belt over. Cool old school wrestling moment where they both hate each other and have feuded big time, but admit, hey, you were the better man tonight. Here's your belt.
A little slap in the face as he walks away, but yeah, there you go.
Doesn't matter. Slap me all you want. Per the terms of my contract, I'm now the world champion and I get to have sex with Francine. That's been well established. Had you known that those stakes were available, I can't help but wonder, would you have pushed away from the desk on Nitro and Thunder and decided to throw your ring here into the extreme and just, I think you could have taken Steve Corino, and you know what that means.
Yeah. Well, had that been a potential, perk, I probably would have said, and still not vied for it. Because as we know, back in 2000, I Schiavone'd most everything.
By the way, the belt that they're parading around right now is in my office. Hashtag humble brag. It's the only belt I can say I definitely overpaid for, by the way, but I was such an ECW mark, and that's the word. I had the first one. I felt like I needed the last one. So I overpaid, but I'm glad to have it. And I'm glad that I didn't have to go through hell and back like Steve Corino did.
There you go, buddy. Fade to black.
Kind of a cool moment to see Steve Corino's big moment like that and see when he leveled up and became one of the top guys. And we'll keep the hits going next week when Ric Flair tries to make George South, giving him maybe a little more than other folks did in the era. I like going back and watching the old school Jim Crockett promotion stuff, and next week will be no exception.
I love it because I experienced it, and it was a big part of my life. It was my transition from fan to in the business. Not many out there can say that. Really. I know there's a lot of fans out there to say, man, I wish I could get in the business some way. And I get it. I was like you, and I was fortunate that I got into it. So anytime that we look at the old Jim Crockett stuff, it brings me back in a good way.
Well, Tony, I can't help but realize as we finish that ECW show, and we're talking about you being brought back, that it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time as the ring is yet to be clear. Wait a minute. Here comes North Carolina's own Chris Hamrick to the ring. He's running to the ring, and he has Francine, and he's going to pin Francine. 1, 2, 3. Chris Hamrick has pinned Francine. He is going to be the new negligee champion. Wait a minute. Don Marie comes in the ring, and 1, 2, 3. He's just pinned Don Marie. Chris Hamrick is not only the negligee champion, he's the boobs champion. And now everybody's going to try to, here comes Justin Credible. Here comes Jerry Lynn. Here comes the Sandman. Here comes Steve Corino. Oh my gosh. He drop kicks Justin. He drop kicks Lynn. He sends Sandman over the top, and he pins Corino, and he is the new ECW world champion. Wait a minute. Well, out of the back, here comes a very, is that Paulie Dangerously? How, and he's so skinny. What happened to him 20 years later? And now he rolls in the ring. And Chris Hamrick is the greatest wrestler in the history of our great sport. And without that, we're out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When. On Wednesdays, we're on Westwood One. And Mondays, we come to you on
Patron. That was like a rare moment where you got a little tongue tied for a minute. Congrats on fighting your way through that one.
It was Chris Hamrick. He did that to me.
He never botches. Hamrick's a great wrestler. You know that.
Of all time.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.